Okay. Check it, check it, check it. Check it, check it, check it, yo. Yeah.
You sound good.
Alright, just...
What? Right, check.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Cool. I was just eating ramen right now, so...
Ramen.
Yeah. Just got like some beef ramen.
Man, I had some like a month ago. I had some udon noodles. From this,
Oh yeah?
From this, yeah. From this place. I was like, I don't even know what this place, what you would call this place. It was like a strip mall, but like for beer. Had a bunch of beer and like just restaurants in it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
But there's this game I'm like really excited for, like unreasonably excited for. I didn't bring it up in the chat because I wasn't quite sure how to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's called Stray Blade.
Stray Blade.
Yes.
You're a cat with a knife.
Sure.
Give me your
No,
money.
jokes aside. But no, jokes aside, like it's a Souls-like ARPG. But in the first trailer specifically that I'm sending you, it has this like insane like customization for your like weapons and equipment. Like it's really, really cool. Like these weapons have their own like skill trees and stuff. It's like it's really, really neat. And the second trailer shows off more of the combat, and the combat looks really good. Like I ended up signing up for the beta. I don't think I'm gonna get in, but I really hope I do.
Okay. Yeah, if you wanna throw this in the doobly doo.
Yeah, I'm down. Put in the show notes.
Yeah, look through it. Am I missing anything, man? Or was this week just not
This week was kind of like whatever. There wasn't really too much.
yeah. Like only yesterday was there something like this Marvel thing happened and I was like, oh finally.
Yeah,
I
something.
got something to put in, yeah.
Even then, like these notes, like this trailer that I'm showing off, like these are like two different like weeks that this happened. Like the first trailer I'm sending you was like August 25th, like 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
so was the second trailer. So I missed out on this when it like first got announced.
Yeah, it's from
That's how I was kind of
Gamescom.
debating on like shit. Yeah, I was at Gamescom, so I was kind of like debating if I even wanted to talk about it, but when I slapped on it, I was like, oh, I should talk about it. Like,
I remember this song. This shit slaps. I need to
What is
play
this?
Link's Awakening.
is this from Link's Awakening?
Yeah, it says
I never played Link's Awakening, so
the remake, the Switch version.
yeah. I've heard it's good, but I don't know if I want to drop like $60 on it.
Yeah. I just don't want to play it on Switch. I never want to use that thing again, to be honest. But,
I don't know, man. I like my Switch. think if there's like anything else I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that happened that I just don't.
Yeah, like Cyberpunk. I'm gonna talk about the Cyberpunk stuff in a little bit more detail once we get to that point.
Yeah.
I actually went back and played it because of like all the updates they did. So I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit more detail. Yeah, I think that's everything. I can't think of anything that we missed, so like if something comes to me, I'll like mention it, but I don't think we missed anything. Oh, hold on. I think there is one actually. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Evil West just got like a new gameplay trailer. It's not even a trailer, it's like a 25-minute video.
The fuck is Evil
13-minute
West?
video. Evil West, you've heard of it. It's from it's that third person like supernatural Wild West game that People Can Fly are working on.
Oh.
Or Focus Entertainment. With Flying Wild Hog. It's Shadow Warrior, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a game I've been like kind of into. Oh god, what game is this? This is Mario, right?
I do believe it's a Zelda of some sort.
Zelda. Oh, Lon Lon Ranch, right.
Oh, it's Kakariko.
What? Yeah, it is Kakariko. My bad. Oh, that was bad. Good thing we're not live.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Good thing we're not live. Cough, cough. Nah. Whatever. I made a mistake. It's early in the morning. I made a mistake. No one's gonna rip my head off for that.
Alright, shall we dance?
Yeah, man, take the lead.
You know what that's from.
Shall we dance?
Shall
Is
we
that,
dance?
I know the Spider-Man would say that in the original Spider-Man game, but I don't know.
You know what? To be fair, I'm saying it's from a game that I've not played.
Oh, what game?
I think it's from Devil May Cry. I think.
Shall we dance? Nah, I don't think so.
I think it's like a taunt. You can like taunt and then, right? I only know that
If
because
it
someone
is,
else.
I never heard it. If it is, I never heard it.
Clay said, "Is it from the movie Shall We Dance?" I don't. It's a movie I never heard of. Well, the only reason I know that, I mean, I don't know it. I don't know it, to be honest. But the only reason I had a friend who said it before, and he said it was from Devil May Cry. But I can't confirm that because I haven't played those games.
It might be a taunt in Devil May Cry 5, but I don't think it was in any of the earlier games. If it was, like, I don't remember it.
I thought you would know because you're the Devil May Cry guy.
No, I don't. I know, like, I've heard it in a game, but not Devil May Cry. The original, like, Spider-Man game that came out after the first movie. Another one that nobody played because everyone talked about the second one. Randomly, like, Spider-Man would, like, talk shit when he get into fights. And he had the same, like, 4 lines, and Shall We Dance is, like, one of them.
This is Clay asked what remix this is. This is DJ Cutman, Volume 3, Red Soil Redux. This is from Game Chops. Game Chops video game study lounge. They just got a radio going 24/7. good jams, good remixes. Check that out.
Oh yeah, super good. I was listening to this. I told you, right? I was picking up my brother-in-law from work, and I was just listening to Game Chops in the background, and he was like jamming to it.
Baby Keem has a remix of this, and it slaps. Let me bring
Yeah, let's hear it.
Demonetized for this.
Man, Baby Mom tripping. Man, Baby Mom tripping last night. Shit wasn't even cool, bro. Like all type of crazy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we strictly gang shit. Gang, you ain't gang. Look at who you came with. Gang, you can't gang. You be on that lame shit. I like having fun. I can't fuck the same chick. Yeah, she gon' suck me like a slurpee, chew me up like Scooby Snap. She thinks she can do for drama. When I fuck, I do my dance. Holla.
It's a really good use of that sample, honestly. Like,
it really is.
That's a really good use of that sample. I wonder how many people like recognize that when they heard this song.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize it when I heard it until like I went back through and played Super Metroid recently, and when I got to the area, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Leonardo DiCaprio meme, just like, wait.
Yeah.
Pointing at the screen.
Clay, you want to jump in on this show? We got nothing to talk about, dude. It's like nothing happened this week. So it's gonna be a boring show, guys. I'm sorry.
Think so?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Like nothing happened. I except like immortality. I got some stuff to say about. I got some stuff to say about that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always down? Yeah, man. You're always welcome. Anyone's welcome, really. I would love people to just be like if we say something, I want someone to be like, "You're full of shit. Let me in the call," and then confront us on whatever the fuck.
You're being facetious, but I hope people are a bit more respectful than that.
I want the smoke. I want people to be like, "No, you're a dumbass, and here's why you're wrong." And then, yeah. It's not a party without Clay, be honest.
Yo, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, first off, you're full of shit and you're wrong. And here's why.
At least if someone did that and was like, "And here's why," I would allow that. But if they were like, "You're an idiot,"
look,
yeah.
I tell everybody, because I disagree with a lot of people on stuff. I got some very strong opinions about everything, and like, I don't just nag and yell and scream. I have reasons, man. Like, yeah. I go, look, Halo's the greatest game of all time. You're wrong. Here's why, and I have backup for that. It's like.
Halo's the greatest game of all time. You're wrong. Case in point, Devil May Cry exists. So get out of here.
Devil May Cry 1 exists. The rest of the series is trash. Boom. There you go.
Wait, what?
Well, I've heard the opposite of that. But
the opposite? What? There's somebody on Earth who says 2 is good? Because that's not true.
Usually 3 is the one people point at, but
that's the one I point at.
3's great.
I started with 3.
3's great. It's just not 1.
I can't tell if I'm being facetious right now. That's a real.
Oh no, I totally fully back this up. 4 was awful, and because of 4 and DMC being so bad, I didn't touch 5.
Oh, dude, you're missing out. Like 5 is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if I can believe that though. Capcom is very miss and a little hit. And
this is on their like second renaissance though. This is like.
Yeah,
This
Capcom's
isn't
one-
like double. This isn't like Street Fighter versus Tekken Capcom. This is like
Ugh.
Resident Evil 2 remake Capcom. This is like Capcom on the upswing, dude.
That's actually that actually sounds good to me because I thought Street Fighter vs. Tekken was just a colossal mistake.
Yeah, it was. That's why. Like they made a fuck ton of mistakes.
Yeah,
Street Fighter versus Tekken,
yeah.
Fucking Bionic Commando,
Oh,
I will say I liked the, what do they call them, like recharged, like the kind of like the
Rearmed.
upscaled 2D ones, rearmed.
Yeah, that's a pretty common opinion. I think most people prefer
Yeah.
that over like this trash game.
That
the 3D.
the 3D one with
Yeah.
with the guy from Marvel 3 in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I remember when that came out, and I played like the first level of it, and I was like, "This is terrible. Why does this exist?" I have the same things on like why whenever anybody tells me how great like Metal Gear Rising is, and I'm like, "You're never gonna win this."
Oh,
Okay, I
Rising
disagree
is-
with that. Metal Gear Rising's fantastic.
Yeah, Rising.
Metal Gear
great.
Rising is just unnecessary on Earth.
Do you just not like action games? Is that it? Like,
Look. I think okay, Devil May Cry came out and it was awesome. God of War came out and it slapped it down and said, "This is my house." Then Devil May Cry 2 came out and it was like, well, okay, so the series is dead. That's cool. All right. And then 3 came out and it was great. And then the rest of them I didn't like. But it's like Bayonetta was trash. And
oh my god. Okay, you're
Trash.
wrong.
That's a little harsh, I think.
Bayonetta was rinse repeat.
It absolutely was not rinse repeat. If you're playing it like it's rinse repeat, sure. But that is absolutely not the case.
Man, Bayonetta was like,
Especially
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2, man. It adds so much more to the combat.
eh.
I feel bad for you. I'm not even mad. I feel bad for you.
I feel like those games, you get more out of it if you actually care about your
Yeah.
score. We haven't even started the show yet, but this is a good topic for because those games are
I think
built
that's
for.
it. Like I'm score driven. I'm very score driven. If I beat a level in like Bayonetta and I got like a stone rating, I'm like, oh fuck that. I gotta run that shit again.
Yeah,
And I know I'm not most people are wired that way. And I think that's why I enjoy Devil May Cry or Bayonetta so much more. Because I got to see the intricacies trying to get that higher score.
I can appreciate a complex combat system. I can appreciate a non-complex combat system. I'm fine with that. Like when I finally learned, and this is not a hard game. This is not a Devil May Cry or Devil May Cry 3 type of situation. But like when I first learned how to take out a room full of guys in the Arkham games or in Spider-Man, I was like, oh, hey, like I can juggle up everything. Like I can do one just long ass infinite combo, and this is great. But when it comes to the end of a level, and look, I want to get the story out of the game, I want to play it, and I want to roll the credits and move on to the next game. If they go, you only made S plus, not SSS plus 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 SS plus plus ranking, I go, okay, next level, start.
Okay, so I'm gonna challenge you a little bit.
Yeah.
I want you to replay Bayonetta. But don't settle for stone. Settle at least for like bronze or silver.
Can I settle for a better game?
Bayonetta 2 is perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah, when they announced 3, I was like, moving on, next trailer. Okay.
I think that's where like I appreciate it more because I do appreciate like when I play a game, the story's there, but I don't play it for the story. I am there to like experience the game and get the most I can out of it. I with Bayonetta, it's the kind of game you get more out the more you put in. And I think that's it. If you're just there to like get to the next level, then yeah, you can get through Bayonetta super easy. Just light, heavy. That's all you got to do through Bayonetta. Light, heavy with the katana weapon, and you're good. You can get through that game super easy.
For me, Bayonetta was all about it just felt like a classic Sega game in the way that no one else makes anymore. it's like hard to explain, but it just reminds me. I'm like a huge fan of like Sonic Adventure, and it gives me flashbacks of like that kind of cheese, that kind of like it's like a shitty game, but they know it's shitty, and that's why I like Bayonetta. It's like this,
Because it's a shitty game.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's kind of a non-seriousness to Bayonetta. There's like
I'm okay with that.
There's an honesty and like a sincerity to its almost kind of silly, goofy premise. Like it's very sincere about how goofy it is. It's really upfront with like how goofy and kind of silly it is. And that's something I can appreciate about it. Like I think they're fun. It's a fun game still on top of that. Like I played through Bayonetta 1 and I was like, oh my God, how did I wait so long to play this? And then Bayonetta 2 was just a whole other level of game for me.
Yeah.
And it's because like Bayonetta 2 does like it demands more from you. So I think the problem with Bayonetta 1 is, like I said, if you want to just get to the next level, you don't really care about your score, looking cool, then yeah, you can get through the whole thing just light, heavy. Like just do that and you can beat the game pretty easily. Bayonetta 2 doesn't really let you do that. It kind of pushes them more on you, demands more from you. Now your penalty for spamming that combo was nerfed, and your penalty for not playing well was just dying. It wasn't even like getting to the next level anymore. So I think that's why like I liked it a little bit more, because I demanded more from the game and it gave it to me. But if you're just playing it, like I said, to get to the next level, finish it, never touch it again, then yeah, it's gonna be a pretty repetitive, not so fun time.
Yeah, to me it was more platinum garbage.
Oh my God, dude! What the
Which
fuck?
is just about everything they made.
Cool. I thought you were cool.
They are literally one of the worst game chops there is.
Okay, how can you fucking say that when like Konami exists? But whatever.
Oh, Konami doesn't give a shit anymore. They just publish stuff now. They just publish, or they hire third-party companies to do whatever, like Platinum.
I will admit, Platinum. If we're talking about like TMNT Platinum, Avatar Platinum, yeah. But how dare you? Like Bayonetta is fucking phenomenal. Astral Chain is fucking phenomenal.
I like that Korra game.
You like the Korra game? I never played it, but I heard it was trash, so that's why the consensus seems to be the reviews aren't good on it, so.
Yeah. I don't remember what anyone said about it. I played it for a little bit.
I think Vanquish is good too, like. And I think that's the difference between like you and me, is that like, again, you play the games to get to the next level to finish it. I want to like demand more from the game. If a game gives me all these cool mechanics, I'm going to try to use all of them in interesting ways, and Platinum kind of lets you do that.
I think it's a problem when I think it's a problem when you get a lot of options, but the game never requires you to use them. I think like a perfect example was, and no one's ever played this game, but there's one of those like One-Chanbara games where like you got like the girls, like the samurai girls, and they're all in bikinis and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it has a surprisingly deep combat system for what it is, but it never asks you to do anything with it. You can get by just doing
That's
like the basic shit. Yeah.
I've heard that actually a lot. I want to play One-Chanbara, but like I've heard the same thing. Is like it has all these cool ideas, but it doesn't really let you use them or make you use them.
Yeah.
So did you all play Babylon's Fall then?
I haven't had the opportunity.
That looked like trash. That looked like trash. Even I can't defend that game.
I remember watching when E3 last year had the trailer for that, and I was like, okay, so this is clearly Square Enix because everybody looks ridiculous. And then, oh hey, developed by Platinum Games. Fast forward. Next trailer.
So even Nier Automata, you were like, nah. You were not interested in Nier Automata either.
I'll say it's one of their higher tier games.
And that's the game that's more story focused.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is that. So story is like the big deciding factor for you then.
Well, actually, okay, so I'm going to totally contradict myself. To me, in any video game, no matter what it is, gameplay is number one. If it's not a fun game to play, then I'm not playing it. But I also don't necessarily need to learn every nuance about the combat mechanic and how to, infinite combo everybody in the game and get S quadruple plus rankings. Because if it's a fun game, I'm going to keep playing it. If it's Death Stranding and I realize there is no gameplay, I turn it off. Regardless if it's Kojima writing a crazy story that makes no sense.
Okay, so I think that's the big divide between you and me. Like, if there's a game that has a combat system, I am going to try to shoot for that high ranking. And I think that's it. I seek out like the depth from the combat. I'm very like lean forward with it. You really lean back with it, I think. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, man, look, I got too many games to play. Okay? Like I am constantly turning and burning games. So like if I can beat a game and be like, yeah, man, that was really fun. I'm going to replay that someday and it's going to be awesome. That's great. And then I move on to the next game. But I'm not going to sit here and like stress over every level because it's like, hey, I've got 3 more games to play this weekend.
Okay, that's it then.
Here's a question that for Clay. What kind of game like sticks with you? Like after you finish it, what kind of game are you like still thinking about for like months after you finish it?
Let's see.
Because for me, that kind of game is rarely a gameplay focused game. It's usually something that has a bit more to offer.
I will say after, and my love of this game, after I finished and 100%ed Ghost of Tsushima back in 2020.
Wow.
I was like, I need more. And I don't just want to start the game over again. But the gameplay, the combat was so fun in that game. I was like, I need more to play on this. But my only option at the time was, waiting a year for Iki Island to come out.
Interesting.
I absolutely adored that game. And it wasn't just, samurais and Japanese culture and standoffs and all that stuff. I was playing it like I played Phantom Pain. Like I was basically just big boss running through stealth murdering everything. And I was like, this game is awesome.
Okay. I feel like that's interesting. I feel like it had not the depth of a Phantom Pain, but
well, it had that you can play it however you want kind of mechanic.
Yeah.
So in Phantom Pain, the beauty of that game is they just give you a town and they go, there's your objective, like a Hitman game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just say, there, that guy right there, infiltrate him. So before Phantom Pain came out, I don't know if you guys remember this, they released like 6 trailers over like the 3rd mission in the game. And every trailer was a different way to play that mission.
Yeah, I remember that. That's what got me into it.
And I was like, that is amazing because Ground Zeroes already kind of showed that off. And then when this came out, it was like, okay, I get it. Like, I'm in. And Ghost of Tsushima kind of gave me a little bit of that back because it was like, yeah, do I want to go all super honorable samurai and blah, blah, blah? Or do I want to just stand in the background and fire arrows on everything like an old Assassin's Creed game?
That was the thing for me. That was the thing about Tsushima was that it had the whole motif it was trying to play on, like, oh, are you going to be dishonorable or are you going to withhold your honor? And it's like, well, no, you don't really give me the option in that because no matter what I do, I'm going to have to end up being a dishonorable samurai in terms of like the game.
Yeah, the story drives you that way, but when you're actually playing the game, you don't have to.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, have you played Dishonored then?
I adore Dishonored.
Okay, then. What about Prey 2016?
Didn't like it.
Really?
I played only about the first 2 hours of it, I'll say. One, if you all know this about me, I'm the first person to admit it. The game was way too scary, and I'm a big wuss. Okay, like let's just put that card on the table right there. Okay, like there it is.
That is interesting.
But 2, even just the running around, using your little glue gun, and finding the mimics and all that stuff, I was like, this is a very slow-paced game. And then when I watched the speedrun of it, I was like, oh, so it really doesn't get that much better.
Okay, a speedrun doesn't really show off the game. Like,
oh, I know. And
If you review a game based on a speed run, you're gonna get the wrong impression of it for sure.
no, the first 2 hours that I put into it gave me everything I needed. And then by the end of the speed run, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not missing much.
Did you get your first? Did you at least make it to your first? What is it? That fucking those mimic powers yet? Did you get any of those abilities yet?
Honestly, I don't even remember, man. It was years ago.
Oof.
I just remember like after I played it, that first 2 hours or something, I was like,
Oh,
okay.
that's when the game opens up, dude, because you can start getting powers from the creatures on the station, and that becomes a very risky mechanic. 'Cause you can get cool stuff like extra strength, like psychokinesis. You could turn into objects. You can get some cool stuff, but the problem is the more of that you apply to yourself, the less recognizable you are as a human. So then the security system starts to turn on you if you invest too much into it.
Oh, I get it.
So
That's actually kind of interesting.
exactly, and you fucking missed it because you cut it out in the first 2 hours of the game.
I did, man. I judged a book by its cover. There you go.
Interesting.
I was like,
I have a much better understanding of your like opinion on games now.
I'm very, dude, like I said, my whole thing, gameplay has to be king, and I don't have patience to deal with games that are boring me. So like the effort I put, and I know Wasabi and I have joked about this in the past, the effort I put into Death Stranding was like about 12 hours. And I was like, this has to get better. This has to get better. And then after 12 hours, I was still like, this is horrible. And so I quit. And then I watched like the movie of the entire storyline, and I was like, man, am I glad I didn't spend 100 hours on that game.
Yeah.
Because that was awful.
Interesting.
I mean, I will admit I have not finished Death Stranding myself, so I can't really.
Yeah. Prepare for disappoint.
I haven't even started yet.
It is so bad. But walking simulator.
That is interesting. Okay, now I have a better idea of like. I think that's the thing about like games that's why like me personally, like I don't trust just like one reviewer when a game comes out. Like I have my reviewers, like when a shooter comes out, you could best believe I'm gonna see what G-Man has to say about it. If like a platformer comes out, I want to hear what Nitro Rat has to say about it. And that's why like these you can judge a person by like not judge the person, but you can understand a person by their tastes, what they consider good, what they consider bad, what they look for in a game, and kind of gauge if like that's what you want out of the same game.
Yeah.
Because I have played a ton of games where like people tell me I would like it, and I go and play it, and I'm like, this game is not for me. I can see the appeal of it for someone else, but it's not for me. The new God of War, for example, I gotta sit down and try it again because I could not get into the combat. Even though everyone tells me how good it is, I can't get past like how close the camera is to me and how cinematic it's trying to be while also trying to be this really deep, mechanically driven like action game. I feel like I can't do both of them as well as like people think it can. But I know people who love it. It's like their favorite game of all time. And like I can see the appeal for it, but it's not my thing.
God of War was a very good game. I'm not gonna be here. I played the entire series, even like the PSP ones. I thought that series was awesome. 2018 was great. It is like I'm not gonna be like, oh fuck that game or whatever. No, it was awesome. It had problems. It was not perfect. And God of War 2 is still the best in the series.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's something I can agree on.
I think Ascension gets a bit too much flack. I really enjoyed Ascension.
Ascension was fine.
Ascension was fine.
That game asks a lot of but everyone like fucking hates it whenever it comes up. You're like, dude, Ascension fucking. I that's the only God of War game that actually asks you to actually get good with the combat. Like you get fucked up in that game if you're not on point.
Ascension was fine. I will actually make a direct comparison here for people that if it's not the best one or entry in a series, usually people shit on it, even if it's a good game. And another example I'll give is BioShock 2.
Yeah, BioShock 2 is still a solid game. I don't care what anyone says.
It's a solid game. The first one and Infinite are just better games. It's just, does that make 2 a bad game? No, it's a fine game. It's just people go, oh man, that game sucked or whatever. Like it wasn't even, Irrational Studios. And it's like, yeah, that's okay though. Like 2K Marin did a great job. That's a fun game. but people have
Also,
just,
if you want to be honest here, like what else came out that year? Like Heavy Rain, Dante's Inferno, and like that's all that's coming up to my head right now. So it's like, you really, what else was out there really that like that was better than Bioshock 2? So I think it gets a bad rap. It's just it was flying. It was. I think mechanically it's better than Bioshock 1. Just the fact that you could hold like a gun in one hand and a plasma in the other.
Yeah.
And it's not in the way.
like that was a quality of life improvement they needed.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome. But yeah, no, like that game was awesome. Speaking of, I still have never played it to this day. It's on Game Pass. I can do it right now. But since you're really into the action games, what did you think of Dante's Inferno?
Never played Dante's Inferno. That's a game I never got to play. Yeah. I didn't. When I heard about it, I wasn't really interested in it. I was like, oh, it's a God of War clone. And I think God of War 3 came out the same year Dante's Inferno did. So I was like, I'm just going to play God of War 3. Like, fuck Dante's Inferno. Everyone tells me, like, in hindsight, it's a solid game, but I never played it. Without an original Xbox, I don't know where to play it on because I don't have an Xbox to play it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on Game Pass for PC, but it's part of Game Pass Ultimate because of EA Play.
You can probably get it through the
cloud. It is not on Game Pass for PC. It is not on Game Pass for PC. If it was, I would have played it.
Okay.
Is it playable on Xbox One, maybe?
I don't think that game was ever on PC.
Oh, yeah, then I don't know. If it's on the Series X right now via Game Pass, you can play it on your Xbox One.
You can definitely play it in the cloud if you want to go that route.
Yeah.
I'm not playing Dante's Inferno on the cloud. That sounds terrible. Oh my god.
Some people have better luck with that cloud shit than others. I guess it depends.
I know some people
that
are. They like. I know, and this is a very big rarity. I know people who are exclusively cloud gaming now, and they actually say things like, "Yeah, I'm playing that on Stadia," and I go, "Uh-huh."
For me, Stadia worked the best.
Talk to them.
I've tried all the cloud shit. I've tried it all. Stadia is still the second best one I've tried out of all of them. So I can't.
What would you say is the best one? I'm just curious.
Nvidia is. I don't know what
Shield?
they're calling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute
Shield
best.
is cool. For the people out there who say they want cloud because they don't want to bother with buying like a high-powered PC or a console or something like that, I understand that sentiment, but similar to everybody saying, screw it, I'm not paying for cable anymore, it's too expensive, but I'm going to pay double for these 8 streaming services. It's like, the cloud is not free. It's like Shield, I think that's the most expensive one too. So it's like...
Well, the NVIDIA one's actually free too. It is free.
Well, isn't there a free plan like super limited though?
It is, but if you're the kind of gamer that doesn't play that often anyway, I think it's just time based. It's just like it's like a 2-hour or 3-hour time limit before it just kicks you out. But that's like plenty of time to just get some casual gaming and just like sit down after work, come home, just play a little bit of something.
I get it.
Yeah.
But for the people out there who are claiming they're saving money, it's like you have to basically buy or upgrade yourself to like an infinite internet plan, which is usually like super expensive, and then you have to rent the Shield plan and then buy the games, and it's like it's not saving you that much money.
Yeah. But it's good
I've been saying forever, like you can get by if you're like on a budget. The most cost effective way I think to like get quality gaming on a budget is probably like an Xbox One and Game Pass. I'm saying that forever.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine actually, he has a big family. He has 6 kids, so he has no money, right? Wow. He didn't buy into it yet, but he was actually thinking about just doing that Xbox All Access with like a Series S, which is like $25 a month. And I was like, that's actually not a bad idea for you.
Yeah.
Like, if you can spare $25 a month, it gets you a Series X and a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. So you and your kids, there you go. There's like 400 games. Go for it.
Yeah, I've been telling people this forever. Like, it's a great deal because like you can get an Xbox One, Game Pass. You're walking out of that store with just with Game Pass alone, you have all the Halo games, you have all the Gears of War games, already like you get some of the best exclusives for that system walking out the door with it. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think,
but going back to what you said earlier with Wasabi, I actually, I know it's easy to make fun of. I hear Stadia actually performs really well.
Yeah, it does. It does. I said, the only thing I have to defend it really is that I played one match of PUBG on there, and I won that match, which is probably my only, like, my second win ever in PUBG. So
yeah,
I can't like knock it. It was good enough that I could win a match of PUBG.
That's
and
cool.
do a lot of the legwork. It wasn't like I had a teammate holding me.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we start this?
Let's start the show. See you guys. All right.
No, it's gonna be like a pretty. I put the notes in the Discord chat, so if you need to look at it, there's like nothing going on. So I only yesterday that Disney Marvel thing happened, and then other than that, it was just like not much. So
Yeah, man, we got a new Tron game of the year.
Yeah. Let me.
which I got some beef with that Tron game. I'll talk about when we get to it.
My beef is
Not beef, really, but
right now they said it's only on Steam, and I was like, all right,
Okay, wait.
what about
save
us
it.
normal people?
Save it for the show.
Yep. Okay, go on. You're right.
Come on.
you can do it. I believe in you.
Here we go. All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Game Oververse, episode 117 for Saturday, December 10, 2022. I'm Wasabi Ice Cream. And Rick's here. What's up? You know Rick. Everyone knows Rick.
What's up, everybody? Everybody knows Rick. What's up, everybody? I'm here, just like I am every week. I'm excited. Not too much happened. We had a Disney Expo the other day, so some games got announced. We're gonna hop into that in just a minute. But we are also joined by a good friend of the channel, Clay. Tell the people about yourself, Clay.
Hey, everybody, I'm Clay. I run a fellow game podcasting site called nerdjunkies.com. Shout outs to them. And I also am just here for Rick. That's it.
That's great.
That's
everyone knows Rick. Everyone loves Rick.
Yeah.
So
I was told Rick was here, so I'm like, hey guys, what's up? Hey.
Yeah.
I can't blame you, man. I got that personality. I want to hang out with you too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My biggest regret is that I can't hang out with you. But jokes aside, we have a little bit to go over, not too much to go over. But let's start where you always start, man. I want to hear Wasabi first because you were playing Immortality, so I want to see how that went.
I was playing Immortality. You're correct.
It was.
And I put like 8 hours into that game, and the credits rolled, and I was like, oh, the credits are rolling?
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, after not understanding at all what was going on in the game, the credits rolled, and I was like, did I finish this game? Am I supposed to walk away with this satisfied? Because I'm not. That was the experience I had with Immortality. I don't want to like talk about specifics, but what I will say is a game. I struggle to call it a game too, because there's not much. All you do is just watch videos and rewind and fast forward, and then you zoom in on like a screenshot of a certain section of a frame of video, and you zoom in on that. And here's a frustrating thing. Okay, I'm gonna talk shit about this game because I talked very positively about it last week. Now here's the negative part. Okay, very frustrating experience playing this game. by the end, where you've seen a lot of the stuff now you're trying to wrap things up and getting the last bits of information that you need. There's achievement trackers, of course. You know, you look at your like achievement list and it says, hey, you're 60% complete with there's 3 movies in the game, and so it'll say, hey, you're 60% complete getting all the content from Ambrosia, or you're 70% complete, you're getting all the content from Minsky. So I'm like, okay, I can, it at least tells me in the achievement how much of this shit I have. But finding out how to get the rest of the shit is so fucking frustrating, because you have no control over how you get the content, other than the way the mechanics work is you watch a video, you pause it on a frame that you think something interesting is happening. Say there's a bird on the screen. You can pause it, zoom in on the bird, and it'll be like, oh, this is a bird. Let's use some AI to find something that's bird-like, or that is a bird or something. Uses AI to find another video to jump to. Almost randomly, it seems like, randomly jumps to another video that's something might look like a bird or is a bird, or someone might say bird or is white like a bird because it's a dove, so it's like dove, oh, this is white, and here's something else that's white. And it's super frustrating because it keeps throwing me the same videos over and over, and I have no idea. It just doesn't make sense, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make sense how it's feeding you the content, right? So that was one problem, is I have no idea how the fucking system works. But then
I ask a question.
Okay, go on.
So I played Her Story on the
Yeah.
PC a few years ago, which is like one of their other games.
Yeah.
And then I saw that Telling Lies was on Game Pass, and I was like, oh, hey, that's from the guys who did, Her Story. And so I checked out Telling Lies, and within about 30 seconds, I was like, oh, this is not good for a controller player. Like, you
Yes.
have to have a keyboard to play this. Would you say this is also in the same boat?
It's the opposite, actually, and I would probably say Telling Lies. This game is more close to Telling Lies than it is to Her Story. Yeah. But the whole thing revolves around this mechanic of rewinding, watching the video and rewinding it and fast forwarding it, and the controls for that are extremely bad, especially on keyboard. Less so on controller, but double the badness, because for me, extremely buggy. So there are times where I'm like rewinding and the audio would completely drop out, so I have to pause it and then play it again. And then sometimes when I did that, like the audio would come back, but then the controller could keep vibrating furiously until I paused it and then played it again, and oh no, the audio dropped out. Pause it, play it again. Oh fuck, it's rumbling now. Pause it, play it again. Okay, now we're good. And I'm like, this is fucking annoying. And then on top of that, I'm like fucking pixel hunting, looking for something that I can try to zoom in on and try to get a new video, but it keeps feeding me the same shit. So I just got frustrated, like doing that for like 2 hours and not getting anything. Getting maybe one new video that doesn't really add anything to my knowledge of what the fuck is happening in the game too. So eventually I just looked it up. I just looked up like, okay, what's happening? Like, what is someone put pieces together for me? And then like, it's not, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it wasn't satisfying. And it's not that it wasn't satisfying, but it was like, how the fuck are you, like, I feel like you're jumping to conclusions, whatever. Like, I went on Reddit and some guy like gave his like synopsis on what he thought was happening. And I'm like, there's no way you got that out of this. But I saw credits roll and I was like, this, I'm not satisfied. Am I supposed to stop now? Or am I like, it just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. So
That's a huge bummer because you're like super excited for it when it like.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
the work they put into. There's like 3 movies, and the movies themselves, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm just gonna like, this is a movie I could just sit here and watch. Like, they put so much work.
The clip you showed me after the show was like, holy shit! Like I downloaded the game because of that.
Yeah, like some of those movies are incredible, and I came to find out that the actress they got to play Marissa Marcel, it's her first, like, it's like one of her very first roles, like, ever. Like, she's not done much of anything before this game, so to be able to portray 3 different characters in 3 different movies from like 3 different eras of time is like crazy, because she does amazing in her acting in the game, and then acting as a character in, she's like double acting almost. It's like a very weird thing to be doing, but she like does it very well. It's very impressive. Just, you can tell the people involved in this are very, they know what they're doing when it comes to making movies and writing stories for movies. But I feel like none of that, it doesn't translate into like the overarching story that is contained within the game. It just doesn't really translate for me. And then on top of that, it's just way buggier than it feels like it should be. It was very frustrating. So like, I saw those credits and I was just like wrestling with myself, like, do I want to go back and just like try to find out exactly what's happening? Do I want to get more information out of this, or do I want to wrestle with this buggy ass game, or do I just want to stop? I just stopped. I was like, nah. So
Have you done any patching or anything on it?
I kept looking for patches and did not see any. I'm playing the Game Pass version.
Yeah.
So I should say that as well. Maybe it is on Steam. Maybe that version's a little different, but Game Pass version was just busted at times. So
Yeah.
yeah, and like it plays at like a weird frame rate, and I pulled up my like, I have like a frame counting app so I can like make sure that shit's running at a proper frame rate. It showed me it was running at 60, but if I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is like running at, I thought it was just a feature of the game. I thought like, oh, they're trying to mimic the frame rate of what these movies would have been if you watched it, but there's no way. It just didn't seem, because they do have more modern movies. The latest movie they have is like from like 2000. So I'm like, at this point, they would have had something that looked more stable in terms of a frame rate, but my thing was saying 60, but it was not running 60, so I don't know what was up with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a great experience for Game Pass, but I would not pay. It's like $30.
It's also a bummer that it kind of fizzles out there at the end too. Like,
it fizzles out. There's people, that's the thing. Everyone's on the internet saying, "Dude, this game changed my life. I'm
That's
dedicated,
training, bro."
Yeah. Yeah, and that was like, one of the comments was like, "This is one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life," and I was like, "That's the kind of comment I want to see about a video game." And I played it, and I'm like, "Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it." It has a very good initial opening. Like, the initial introduction to that game is very, very high. Keeps you wanting more, but then as you keep going, it fizzles out at the end. So it was a bit of a bummer.
Sucks.
But I don't want to dissuade anyone from playing it themselves and seeing what it does have to offer, because it is a very high quality experience. But when you start like digging a little deeper into it, it's like, okay.
yeah, well, I mean, it's on Game Pass. So anyone that's listening, like, try it out on Game Pass. You're not losing any money out of it by trying it.
Yeah.
And then just infer your own opinion from there.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, or is your whole week just
It was just that. I'm moving on to, Humble sent me a code for Temtem, so I'm gonna transition.
Oh, cool.
That game's
into
like
that.
really popular right now.
It's a Pokemon MMO style thing, so I would assume it would be popular. It's on Switch too, so that's where it would. I feel like it would kill on Switch. But
Be cool. Let me know what you think of it, because I want to try that one for a while too.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't really been playing a lot. I played 2 games this week. Still played Dragon Quest 11. I am like dedicated to beat that. I want to get the new Xenoblade, but I told myself I'm not gonna buy another JRPG until I finish Dragon Quest. And
Good.
yeah, like I've said before, like it's a good game. Like it's a really, really good old school style JRPG with some nice little twists to it and story that I really like. Don't want to spoil anything, just go play it. It's on Game Pass, so give it a shot. But one game I did want to talk about is we're gonna talk about this later in the show, but Cyberpunk got some new updates
Yeah.
due to the
40 gigs.
yeah due to the anime series coming out, Edge Runners. They got some new updates to kind of in honor of that. Some of it's Edge Runners content, some stuff to tie it into the anime, and others just general bug fixes, quality of life improvements. And I thought, okay, this would be a cool time to get back into it. They added a couple cool things. They tweaked some of the weapons and how they worked. They finally added a transmog system, which like I'm a little pissed off it took this long for it to show up, because a game like Cyberpunk demands so much of you in terms of like style and representing yourself that doesn't have a transmog system. It was insane that it wasn't there before.
Explain what
And they added it.
explain what a transmog system is for people
Oh,
who
so
don't know.
yeah, a transmog is when you could like change the way your equipment looks to look like another piece of equipment without affecting your stats. So if you get like pieces of armor or pieces of equipment that you got for the stats, but they don't really look good together or they make your character look goofy, you can transmog it to look like something else, so you can still have that style and that flair without affecting your stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that should have been there from the beginning, honestly. I'm a little pissed off it took this long. The game's been out for like what, like 2 years now?
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's insane that wasn't a thing from the beginning. Again, especially since like Cyberpunk is a very stylish game. A big part of the game is, who are you in this world and representing yourself and presenting yourself. And the fact that it took this long for them to actually let you choose what clothes you want to wear without affecting your stats is like bonkers to me. But the game is still really fun. Like I know a lot of people are shitting on the gameplay from the beginning. They made a lot of tweaks for it to make it feel a lot better. Some stuff that was insane to have to be on the skill tree like aren't there anymore. They're just there by default. I remember when I first started, if you grab somebody, let you choose to kill them or to just knock them out. But when you did that, you would have to kill them or knock them out, and then when their body dropped, pick the body up to take it somewhere to hide it, like in a crate or something. And if you want to have the ability to just do it all in one go, like grab somebody, drag them to a crate, kill them, and drop them in it, it was like another perk you had to like invest points into. Now it's just there by default.
That's
so you have
great.
to invest points into that. Yeah. So little things like that have been adjusted to kind of make the game a little bit better to deal with. And I still stand by the fact the story for this game is really, really good. I love the story. Yeah. You're wrong, dude. I love the story. I love the world. I love the depth to the characters. That ending, the game has like 6 different endings. There's 3 main endings and then 2 choices you can make for each ending. That drastically changes like how the game plays out. I'm not going to spoil for you. And if you take the time to like really invest in the characters, they come back towards those endings. I liked it a lot. And this is something like I'm a gameplay first guy for sure. And the gameplay on this game it's okay. It's something like special, really, to write home about. But the story is something I really liked. Now, with that being said, after I beat it, I for curiosity's sake, I did retry it with a different build to see like how much the game changes. When I first played through it, I was running mainly combat focused. I used Mantis Blades as my main weapon and pistols for stuff I couldn't reach with my Mantis Blades. I took out my Cyber Deck upgrade that lets me like hack stuff remotely, and I swapped that out with like a bullet time system. So I invested a lot into combat. So I went the other direction with this new playthrough. I invested mostly in sneaking and hacking And I'm impressed with how different the game is and how it lets me play that way. I can play these two different gameplay styles. I played the second playthrough about 3-4 hours already, and I'm impressed with how much it was able to let me play that way. In missions I beat before, I remember like running through and cutting everything on. Now I need to be methodical, hack into cameras, hack into bad guys, distract them so I can take them out. I was impressed with how well it facilitated that. I was told it wasn't the case when the game first launched. It very much wanted you to play more aggressively, and they kind of had to add more stuff into it to kind of let you play how you wanted later. And I could say now I'm playing a mainly stealth build with indirect combat, and it's working pretty well. So if you maybe played Cyberpunk originally, couldn't get into it, or you wanted to wait till some of the stuff got patched out and fixed, now might be a good time to invest into it, because a lot of those issues are gone. Not to say all of them are gone. There's still some annoying, weird things that happen in this game that I'm like, this is embarrassing to still be there. But a lot of those rough edges have been ironed out a lot. And I'm liking what I'm playing so far. I might actually play the second playthrough to the end now because of how much fun I'm having with it.
Okay.
Also, the anime looks fucking cool. Like, I didn't know how we are going to sneak that in there, but the anime looks really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's a Studio Trigger is doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks fucking good.
Yeah, it looks really good. That trailer really impressive. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later. But, yeah, it was really, really cool. But fuck, let's talk about it now. I like the trailer a lot. The weird Ode to Joy remix they did for the trailer was really cool. It's a very, like, not safe for work, hard R trailer, though. So, you know, be careful where you watch it. There's tits and vagina in this trailer, dude. Like,
it's cartoon tits. It's not real. So,
but there is a squirting vagina in that trailer. So
there is.
So yeah, be careful where you watch it. But it looks cool. If you know Studio Trigger's work, they did Kill la Kill, and God, what else?
Gurren Lagann. Did they do that?
Yeah, Gurren Lagann. And they did a couple. They did a couple episodes of the Star Wars anime. So they have a very distinct style, very hyperactive, very movement focused style that I like a lot. And it nails it for Cyberpunk. Like, it's really, really cool. And again, I haven't played any of the story stuff that they added to the game to kind of tie it into this, but from what I'm watching,
like missions and stuff.
Yeah, there are some missions that tie it to the anime. They promise they're gonna add some more to it later.
I watched that trailer, and it didn't seem like, from the trailer, it didn't seem like they were adding anything. It was, with the trailer, it was like a glorified music video for the anime.
Yeah, but when they at the same time they showed the trailer off, because Cyberpunk had like a whole CD Projekt Red had like a whole presentation.
Okay.
Like a 20-30 minute presentation, like talking about like the Edge Runner update they added to Cyberpunk. You can get the main character in the anime trailer you just saw. You can get his jacket in the game.
That's all I saw. Was like the little clothing things, but yeah, I didn't know they added like missions and stuff into it.
Yeah, they added a couple side missions to kind of tie it to the anime. And the devs came out and said, no, this anime is canon to the game. They're standalone stories, so you don't have to play the game to enjoy the anime and vice versa. But there are details in there for people who have played the game, who, if they go and watch the anime, they'll get some references there. So,
cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I got the patch the other day. I've had it installed since I went through it. I didn't know that they added like missions. I might go jump back into it.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them yet, because I was like right at the end of the game and I stopped playing it. It wasn't the game's fault. I just had other games I was playing and it kind of fell on the back burner. So when they added this new update, I was like, okay, I'll go back into it. I hadn't played the game for months. So as a testament to the game, like usually if it's a JRPG and I'm that far into it, if it's any RPG, I'm that far into it, I have to start the game over because I don't remember what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
But with this game, I don't know if it's just the story is much better told, in my opinion, than other games I played, or because it's so, like, in my opinion, very unique and recognizable. I remember where I left off when I picked it up. Gameplay, I had to relearn how to play the game for sure. But story wise, no, I knew what I was doing. I remembered characters, key points. I remembered the next step was in the narrative. And I was able to pick it up with very, very little very little demanded of me to like kind of remember what was going on. So take that with a grain of salt. Like when I talk about how much I like the story, I was able to remember it and get back into it after months of not playing it. So I say check it out. Like if you've played it before and you weren't impressed with it, or if you were waiting for a chance to try it, now with this new patch, great time to get into it. And they do have a new DLC expansion coming out we're going to talk about later. But yeah, I had a fun time with it, and I'm probably going to be playing this game a little bit more. And I'll have a lot more to say about it next week with my second build. Or on the subject of this ball rolling, what about you, Clay? Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything that interests you? Any games you were playing?
I will say for one, Cyberpunk gameplay was solid. Could not agree more. Like I loved it. I thought it was great. Similar to Ghost of Tsushima, Dishonored, whatever. Play it however you want. It was great. Story disappointment. Wasn't a big fan. I did beat the game, but I just say I didn't care.
I love the story. I love the story.
Could not get into it.
I would say I hated the gameplay.
Yeah.
And it was lukewarm on story. So
yeah, I implore you try it again. Like now with these new quality of life changes, try it again.
I did reinstall it. I also reinstalled it after that announcement update came out.
Yeah.
But I didn't play it.
Yeah, and there's some cool stuff in there that I really liked. And even some of the side missions, there are side missions that are gonna like stick with me forever because just what it asks of you and the implications of it. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some side missions I can talk about for like hours because of like the effect it had on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was really into this game. And
That's cool.
yeah, they can bring the anime out. The anime can hit like a lot of those same points in a more passive medium. I'm down, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah, I dig it. But yeah, so I'll be checking that out because like I said, I didn't know there was like a side mission in there, so that's cool. I'll definitely play that.
Yeah.
I will say.
Oh, and the game has a new game plus now. I guess that was the thing I didn't have before. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you want to the game over with like your character, carry over your equipment stuff, there's an option to do that now.
Well, yeah, I just need to watch that announcement that they made because I missed out on like everything because I just heard about the Edge Runner stuff and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know if you guys have been playing the Cowabunga collection.
I haven't. I've heard good things about it though.
It is quite good.
Yeah. That's really good. I want to pick it up because like there's a lot of Turtle games there that I haven't played, so I want to go give it a shot.
Some of them are just atrocious, and some of them are fantastic.
I don't care what anyone says. I think any of those NES games like did not age well.
Oh, dude. Yeah, TMNT 1 on the NES is still insanely hard. You just gotta fight through it. There's a save state system. There's a rewind system. Make it happen.
Make it a bit more bearable then.
Yeah. So yeah, that works. And I'm still going through Saints Row.
Oh, you're still playing it?
Yeah, I will say it's not that bad, man. I think people just expect the perfect game to be released, and so if there's bugs or anything, they go, no, this is useless, 0 out of 10, and you go like, well, I mean, okay. Have you never played a Saints Row game before? Because they're all like this.
Yeah.
I haven't played a Saints Row game in a while, so yeah, I'll probably pick that one up like once a lot of the bugs and stuff get patched out.
Yeah, it definitely needs patches, I'll say that, but nothing's game breaking. It's it's like GTA style bugs. You just see people like walking through a wall every now and then. And you go, oh, okay.
I'll definitely check it out once like a lot of the patches come out and the game's more solid. I don't know if it'll have the same like user base once that happens, but oh well.
No, probably not.
We'll see whenever those patches and stuff come out, I'll probably pick it up. Because I'm a huge Saints Row fan. I fucking love the Saints Row games. So I was going to buy that game regardless, but I'm going to wait till some of the patches come out for it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, we had the Disney showcase the other day, and this is something I want to go over with. So Disney had a whole expo the other day showing off a bunch of new movies, which we're not going to talk about. We're talking about some of the games that they announced. They had a pretty good announcement for games. Like I was impressed with how much stuff they were talking about.
They talked about a lot of stuff, but the stuff they talked about was not. A lot of it was like fucking mobile garbage.
Yeah, a lot of it was mobile garbage. They opened up the show with Tron Identity, which is a mystery adventure game set in the Tron universe.
It's a
Which I
visual
have some
novel.
beef with. Yeah, which I have some beef with.
Go on.
Because the big gimmick with the first Tron movie was like, oh, this is like a world inside your computer. You know, explained a lot of computer stuff as like as programs living in it. But then for some reason, Tron went on this trend of like humanizing them. Like one thing I didn't like about the sequel is that, oh, now it's like a city and these programs that were just operating a computer now like go to nightclubs and like form gangs. Like, what the fuck is that about? Like,
I like this guy's
You know what I mean?
this guy's at a club and he's like, oh, hold on, man, I gotta go. My owner needs me to decompress some files real quick.
basically, like that's what the whole first movie was. This is like this world inside your computer. Like it's more, there's more to it than that. I'm sure there's like some Tron fans that are like, well, actually, okay, no, but that was the big gimmick of that first movie. And then when the second movie came out, and it's like, oh, suddenly like there's a nightclub and Daft Punk are the DJs, and there's this whole like underground like crime thing going on in this computer city. I was like, what is going on here? Like, what is a computer program you go to a nightclub for? But whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's almost
So-
like I've never seen. I don't know shit about Tron. I've never seen it. I've never had any interaction with Tron outside of
They're
like
very
Kingdom
different. Like,
Hearts.
if you watch the first one and then watch the second one, they're like totally different. It's such a weird thing to do. Like,
What I imagine from what you're describing is like Mega Man Battle Network, where you're jacking into a thing, and then there's this whole world inside the computer network that exists in its own thing, and then in there are clubs and like there's like a whole like network world going on inside the network. But then once you jack out, you know, you're back in the real world. Is what I imagine.
it's very similar to that. It's very similar to that. But with the first one, it kind of doubled down on the fact that they were computer programs. So they're very like, I don't want to say emotionless, but very, you know, robotic almost. Like they're programs. The movie didn't confuse you on that. They were computer programs. And with the sequel, it turned up like the humanity to them even more so. So now like they have their own like wants and desires.
Well,
they go
is
to
it
nightclubs
bad?
and stuff.
Is it bad
It's
or
not
is it just
bad.
different?
It's very
Word.
different. It's very, if you watch the first one then watch this one, it's like, okay, that's a weird tonal shift.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's bad, but it's really weird. It's a really weird shift.
It's been a while since I've like read up on all this stuff, and I'm about to actually real quick, but it's like so if you there was like, and this is like lore stuff, there was a comic before that takes place before the movie, before Tron Legacy.
Okay.
And it's like, and it basically focuses on how like the old computer system from the first one is gone, and so Flynn basically created a new one, and within that's where the ISOs came from, and they're not just computer programs, they're like these like AI that live inside of that new system. So that's why everything is so different in that one compared to the first one.
Okay, that explains it then. So that's why there's like they're basically like people in a society now. Like they're not like
Yeah,
they're not
like they're not the
AI
guy in the first one whose name is Ram, which is hilarious.
yeah. The first one came out in like what, like early
84 or something like that. Yeah.
So it was
84.
like before computers were a household thing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a weird thing, because it takes a very fantasy sci-fi approach to like how people interpreted computers back in the 80s, but it is grounded in some sense of like computer engineering. And this, like, again, like they are programs, like they refer to themselves as programs in the movie.
Yeah.
And they refer to like humans as users. Like they are programs that serve a purpose in this computer, and that's what the gimmick was. So that's why I was so confused in Legacy. I saw the trailers for it, and I was like, okay, like there's a city with like highways, and they're in a nightclub. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But now that makes sense. They rebuilt it, and they gave these things like actual agency and intelligence. Like, it makes sense that they're gonna reflect human behavior more.
Yeah, basically like Tron, I believe, is the same dude from the first one. And then because like Flynn brought him into it, and then he recreated Clue, who became like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also Tron Evolution, if you play that game, it's awesome.
Is it really?
It is. It's great.
I heard it was good. It's like it's a little hidden gem. It's like a God of War clone. What I heard.
Yeah, it's very God of War feeling because of the combat system, where like your dude just he throws like a light disc around, and it think of like the Blades of Chaos without the actual chain attached to it, where you throw something and it comes right back.
Yeah.
So it's like that. Like his little disc, it's just constantly zipping in and out. You know?
So that's what Tron Identity is. It's not like that. It is a point-and-click adventure game. So now I kind of understand a little bit more now than like where this like mystery novel, like straight up borderline like noir thriller is like coming from. So yeah, I mean it could be cool. I'm not a big fan of visual novels, but we'll see what happens with this. And a more interesting looking game, we got the Illusion Island from Delilah Studios was announced to come into Switch on 2023. It's a 2D platformer, which I think with the name Illusion Island is a reference to the Castle of Illusion Mickey Mouse Sega games, right?
Possibly. I hope so, because those games are awesome, and this one looks super fun.
Yeah, it does. It's going based on the new Mickey Mouse shorts, like their art style. Which, if you haven't seen them, they're fucking hilarious. Oh my god!
I figured this was based on something, but I haven't seen those.
Yeah, there's these new Mickey Mouse like series. They started out as like shorts with no dialogue, like older Mickey Mouse cartoons. They turn into like their own thing. They're really, really fucking funny. Like I was surprised at how much fun I was having with these. They're on Disney Plus, so if you have Disney Plus, go check them out. But they're really, really funny. They can bring that sense of humor into this game, which the gameplay looks solid. Like the anime looks really good, or the animation looks really good. I like the 2D hand-drawn look they're going with this. Like this looks like fun. This probably stands out the most to me, at least, with some of their announcements here.
Yeah.
That's not going to come out till like next year though, so we got a ways away before that drops.
This whole presentation was kind of funny to me because the whole time he's like, they have a guy, Blessing is like on there like presenting and shit. And every time they cut back to him, he's like, "Man, that looks awesome! I can't wait for." Every time, and I'm like, it wasn't that. It's not that exciting, man. But then the one time they showed,
dude.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it'd be funnier to me if he was like, "Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief, but we'll see," or something like that. Like,
he wouldn't have a job if that was the case.
Yeah.
Like, clearly it was a paid dude, who's there to be like, "Oh, that looks super dope, awesome, whack."
Yeah, I can't wait to get Iron Man in there and really show him what for. Just like I just want a little bit more
like
honesty.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all ever listened to the Nintendo Power podcast, which is Nintendo's like official podcast. Have you all ever heard that?
I've seen it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft all have their own like official podcasts, and The Nintendo one, it is super like family friendly. It's really funny, but it's also super brand name. So like they always say like Nintendo Switch. You know, like
Oh
I can't
yeah,
wait to play that game on Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch family
And it's
home
like,
consoles.
yeah, exactly. But it's like it's so clean and Disney-esque at the same time because like everything is just super wholesome and like just makes you want to die. But yeah, it's like that's what I would imagine a Disney, press conference would be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole conference. I just I waited for some of the games to come out and I watched those.
I watched
Because
this whole
they
thing.
announced a lot of stuff. Yeah, they announced like movies, TV shows.
They showed stuff
ton of
that. Well, this one specifically is just the game stuff.
Yeah. Well, they had two shows. They had so the entire expo was the D20 expo, I think is what they called it, or D23
D23.
expo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they had like a bunch of movies and stuff coming down the pipeline, some shows that are coming down the pipeline. They had another one that was like just their games, which I'm surprised like how much they announced. A lot of it's like mobile garbage.
Yeah.
But even then,
I saw a lot of people
garbage
hating on it just because of all the mobile titles that they announced.
yeah, but they started up with like non-mobile. The first half of it was like non-mobile games.
My
Yeah.
problem
Or, like, a
is
chunk of it.
I hate when they show a game that's a mobile game, but the way they present it, it'll be like a minute long trailer, and like 57 seconds of it will be this extreme fucking high presentation, like awesome looking thing, and it'll zoom out and it's a fucking mobile strategy game. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I know.
You guys have cell phones, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We got some cool stuff out of this. Like Marvel Midnight Suns is a game that
It looks good. And
at
it's
first it looks good. Yeah, at first I was kind of whatever about it. I was like, oh, like turn-based strategy game with card mechanics, I'll pass. And then I saw more of it. I'm like, okay, this looks pretty cool. Like there's a lot of cool stuff happening here. And all of the cinematics they've shown off have been fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like really, really cool.
And it's Firaxis, so it's the XCOM guy who's making this. So
Yeah. So we're gonna get a quality product here, I think, with Midnight Suns.
yeah, get that.
Yeah, I'll
Doctor Strange
probably end
game
up
out.
picking this one up or playing it. Yeah. They also show off a sneak peek to some of their prequel shorts that looks like really, really cool. Like I can't wait to see those. Yeah, there's some cool stuff to strike for with Midnight Suns. I mean, the more I see of it, the more excited I get with when it comes to Midnight Suns. I like everything about it, but the gameplay itself is like I'm kind of iffy on. But I liked XCOM, and if FireX is working on it, I might like this one too. So
Yeah,
we'll see. They got the animation for that short. Can we talk about that really quick? It's so cool.
it looks good.
If Saturday morning cartoons kept being a thing, this is what they would look like now.
They had these two. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, so I don't know if these are real people. But who the fuck is Nico and Magic?
I couldn't tell you who Nico is, but Magic is like a character.
Okay.
I've never heard of either of these people.
Yeah, I saw him
Magic's
come up.
super obscure. She's in God. So Marvel had a movie. God, what the fuck was it? The New Mutants that came out like 2020, and Magic made her first like on-screen appearance in that movie, but nobody watched it because it was fucking terrible. So whatever. But her thing is that she is a mutant. Her powers let her like open doors to dimensions, but that was boring. So she also like learned magic with like Doctor Strange or something.
Yeah, anyone can open the door.
Yeah, so she also like learned magic. She could summon like a magic sword. All of that spells. Her only mutant power, I think, is like making those portals. Everything else she just got from magic. But she is a member of the Midnight Suns. She's worked with them a couple times, so it makes sense that she's here. Nico, I don't know anything about Nico. I'll be honest. I know people like look at me as a Marvel guy, but I have a very passing knowledge of Marvel. Believe it or not,
I thought they invented a character for this game specifically, but I don't know.
Did they?
I thought they did make a character just for the game, which is now a canon character. I think they have their own like comic series now, but they created them just for the game. So there's someone in there who you're not gonna know, but I just don't know which one that is. But that's what I heard. That's a word on the street. So don't
Word on the
Hey,
street.
yeah.
From the trailer we saw there, does it let you like make your own character? Because I think I saw that.
I don't think you make your own. I think one of the characters is just a new hero. But
Okay, so there's that clip where like they were coming out of like a coffin or something, and they kept like changing. I thought it was supposed to like reference like a created character.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not. This is not my area of expertise.
Yeah, it's about 30 seconds in. It's like your Marvel adventure, and like there's this character's like face and like body keep changing. Yeah,
Sounds about right. Like
I'm sure
like a make your own.
Oh, maybe you do make
But
your
I
own.
haven't heard anything about it. Like if you make your own character, they haven't shown off a character creator.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm, like,
Midnight
looking it up now.
Suns. It looks okay. It looks all right.
Oh, okay, so yeah, there is a customization option here. There's like there's like a thing in like June of like someone making a character. Oh fuck!
Huh.
How come I didn't know about that? That's really cool. Okay,
You're not on the street like
guess not.
Yeah,
Wasabi
yeah,
over here.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
Word
we
on
gotta
the
look.
word on Main Street, USA. There you go.
Yeah.
And
South
then we
Main
gotta
Street.
look at
South Side.
Marvel Strike Force. Got a new. We got some new looks at it with some. They're adding in some of the Hulk fan. We got Hulk, Red Hulk. She Hulk is coming
Red Hulk.
too.
Is his name Red Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hulk, the thing that they don't explore in like
The Blue Hulk of
The
Eight
movies.
Rivals.
so the thing they don't explore in the movies is that Hulk, Bruce Banner has like multiple personalities, and there's different Hulks that come out in the comics. And there's like one that's like red, who's just like he has less control over, he's even angrier, and there's one who's like gray that has all of his intelligence still. There's different Hulks that are like fighting for his like for domination in his brain. And they don't explore that like at all in the movies. They just, because it's kind of a dumb subplot. I'm sorry, Marvel fans, but it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And there's been like comic book bullshit that actually brought them out, so you had to fight them, but I'm not gonna get into that. So yeah, it's not like too weird that it's there. I've never played Marvel Strike Force. Is it like another like gotcha game, right? Like it's like this weird like autoplay RPG with gotcha mechanics.
I don't know.
Sounds like it.
This trailer looks cool. Look at the cinematics.
Yeah,
here.
but watch the gameplay though.
Like that's
saying
like
it's a second and a half of actual gameplay.
that's like what's that? Star Wars Galaxies of Heroes. That's just
yeah, it's a lot like Galaxies of Heroes.
yeah. It's just a turn-based RPG that has gotcha mechanics.
Yeah. Which like, yeah, that's what you're into. Fine, it's not my cup of tea though. Then we
I
gotta
tried
look at-
I tried Galaxy of Heroes just because I love Star Wars, and I was like, wow, this is terrible.
I was gonna try until I saw what it was, and I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I'll skip it. I'm not. I love Star Wars, but not that much.
Yeah.
And then we got a Marvel Snap, which is a Marvel like card game.
No, it's Marvel
Collectible
Snap. It's Marvel Snap.
Is that how they say it in the
It is.
trailer?
It is. Oh wait, let me play it real quick. It's Marvel Snap.
Who doesn't have a bagel's worth of time? So don't wait to explore a multiverse of possibilities. Oh, snap. Marvel Snap.
Oh.
It's time to
Oh
make
my
your move.
god,
Marvel
that's so dumb.
Snap.
Wow, that hurts.
Snap. It's time to make your move. The game launches.
Snap.
Yeah. So.
No, it reminds me. Have you ever played like Wind Waker when you're doing that like battleship mini game? When you miss it, he's like sploosh. Yeah.
Sploosh.
Sploosh. Oh man, but yeah, I got a new trailer. It's dropping October 18th. So I guess like I'm not a fan of collectible card games, so if that's your cup of tea, I mean, here you go. If you like card games, you like Marvel, there you go. There's a game you can sink your teeth into once that drops in October. The artwork on the cards are cool. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
like that artwork a lot, but I'm kind of whatever with it. We got a look at Alien Dark Descent, which I forgot, like, Disney bought Fox Studios, so
Yeah. This-
Aliens is now a Disney franchise.
This game
Clearly.
actually looks okay, I think. This looks like it could be fun. They don't show much of it.
Shout outs to Aliens Fireteam Elite.
I heard that was okay too.
It's actually not a bad game. It's just nobody's playing it, so it's hard to get like a good co-op game going.
So
Yeah.
what is this Dark Descent game? Is it
It looks like a
This looks like,
tactical, strategic, like defense, maybe like a tower
yeah, I was gonna
defense.
say it looks like a tower
almost.
defense, yeah.
But without
That'd be
towers.
cool.
It's a tower defense game because it's 2002 again.
You'd be surprised. Those games, people, I don't know. There's a pretty big audience for that.
I'm sure there's some people out there who want like a good tower defense game.
Yeah, I just think the Aliens it's good. It's a good mix for Aliens. I think
I think so
it's
too.
not a first-person shooter.
Yeah, Aliens has a lot of potential. You can make a ton of games with Aliens, so
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. Next look, we got to look at Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. I say look, but it was like a cinematic, like
They
a
just-
2.5 minute
they
cinematic.
probably just showed this just to say it's still happening. This is that Ubisoft game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's set to come out
Oh,
on main system, so PS5, Series X, PC, even Stadia and Luna.
God, that
Yeah.
just reminded me. Ubisoft Forward is in like 3 hours, right?
Oh yeah, that Assassin's
Or-
Creed thing.
Ubisoft Connect or Forward or what the hell they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally forgot about
We'll
that.
see that. They'll probably show off more of Avatar on that, hopefully. So I don't know what the fuck this game's gonna be. I just saw like a quick trailer. But yeah, I have no opinion on this. Like the cinematics are cool, I guess, but I don't have an opinion on it. Then we got Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. It's getting new characters, including Andor. I guess that's supposed to be at a promotional time with the new the new Star Wars Andor series coming out. I think it's supposed to come out
It's in like 2
later
weeks.
this year. Is it in 2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah, it's the 21st, I think. 21st, 23rd, something like that.
There we go. Supposed to be a time with that then.
Yeah.
We're also getting a Galactic edition of Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga releasing later this holiday. 13 bonus characters, 6 of them being brand new.
Which pretty much confirms for me to not buy this game until that comes out.
Yeah.
So
Which is crazy because Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker, it had a lot of content. Like it's
Yeah.
all 9 movies.
I was telling people, so I get asked a lot because I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and people go like, yeah, like, are you going to pick that up on day one? And I'm like, I'm probably never going to play that game. Oh yeah, why not? And it's like, nothing against the Lego games. I think they're awesome, but like, I don't have 400 hours to play one game.
Yeah, this game's gonna take a lot of time. Like my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I mean, that's dropping later this holiday, so I'll probably check that out because I do like the Lego Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Return to Monkey Island. Got a brand new look. What to expect? Items, characters you'll meet. That's at the drop September 18th.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it looks cool. A lot of people are shitting on the art style, but I think it looks fine. Like,
Yeah.
Is this okay? You're the Monkey Island guy. This is I feel like you're a good person to ask. Are these the kind of adventure games that are frustrating to play without like a walkthrough? Is it
So, well,
Mhm.
it's all up to your patience level, but the big difference between this game, okay, so back in the point and click, golden era of like, the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like there was basically 2 flavors. There was Sierra, who makes like King's Quest and all that stuff. And those games are known for just being super hard and you die constantly trying to figure out how to do whatever. And so you're just constantly saving and loading all the time. And then LucasArts came out with like their flavor of those. And that's where like Monkey Island and Grim Fandango and, all those kind of games come in. Those
Yeah.
are basically, you'll never die in these games. you're stuck until you figure it out. Like the game
Right.
will not let you progress until you solve X, Y, and Z. So I think this is a much better, less stressful formula.
It's a better formula, but so Grim Fandango is a good example. Is I got
Yeah.
frustrated right off the bat in that game. Episode 1, I was like, "This is what the fuck am I
Same.
supposed to do?" And then
Same.
I looked up a guide, and I'm like, "How are you supposed to figure this out aside from just
Yeah.
using everything on everything?" Which is that's part of the fun because they always have something new to say about using everything on everything, but.
Yeah,
I just want to progress the story. I'm like, this ain't.
I
this
get
ain't-
it.
Yeah.
The Monkey Island games are always really fun and funny and good writing and all that stuff. So I'm excited for that. I love point and click adventure games, but like something that I like to compare, point and click adventures like this where you use everything on everything. It's like, have you ever played a Silent Hill game before? Because how are you supposed to know to use the fish hook on the piece of tape, which on this
Yeah.
sewer grate, which gets you the cassette, and then you got to use the cassette over, and it's just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
That's something that, like I have the same opinion on because like I grew up playing Resident Evil, which is
Yeah.
basically a point and click adventure game with zombies in it. So
Yeah.
I'm not I don't mind it too much, but there are some like Grim Fandango is a perfect example. They get so obscure. I'm like, how was I supposed to know how to do this?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I love the story for Grim Fandango and I haven't finished it because I don't want to play the whole game with a walkthrough.
I did. I had to. I was like, this ain't. I love the story here, and I want to experience it, but I don't want to spend 7 hours on one puzzle.
Right.
Insane. But yeah, this looks pretty cool though. I might check this out. They do enough to it to like modernize it so it's not this annoying, frustrating experience. I might check it out.
That's
Check
the
out and
thing.
I don't know if it's still on Game Pass. It was a little while ago. It's called Thimbleweed Park.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another. So Ron Gilbert's the guy who makes these games, like the OG Monkey Islands and everything. And it's
Yeah.
Thimbleweed Park was like a Kickstarter because for people who are like, you should make another game. So he did a Kickstarter and it came out and it was on Game Pass. I went through it. It was great. It's just more turn-based or not. I'm sorry, not turn-based, like point and click RPG or point and click adventure stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's why I appreciate what Telltale did for these kinds of games because they really just trimmed all the fat away and was like, okay, what's the core thing that people want or need out of these adventure games? Well, it's a story. And so they kind of streamlined everything to just get you the story parts of it. I think that stuff, like, it's a benefit for more casual people who want to enjoy these types of games.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my thing. That's why I got into like the Telltale games so much because it focused more on the story and less on the obscure puzzles.
Yeah.
So I have zero problem checking that out. And if this Monkey Island game does something similar, like I'll play it. I like me a good point-click adventure, but I don't have the time to like try everything on everything.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get that in this game.
I thought
Another
Broken
thing that I
Age.
never-
Broken Age was
is another one that
it
yeah,
was a
Broken Age
good.
was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good
the
medium.
first part was fantastic.
Yeah.
That
was a-
second half was
The second half
fucking
is when they throw it
ridiculous.
out. Yeah. But that I like that though because the first half it's like it gets your toes wet a little. It doesn't ask anything too crazy. But then like that second half is like, okay, here it is, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember playing it, and I thought maybe I'm just bad at these, but I played Broken Age, and I was like, okay, this game is cool. I can't wait for the second half. And then I played the second half, and I'm like, this is hard. I am dumb. I feel like a dumb person.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the normal like consensus is that hey, this is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So whatever. And another news that I don't think anyone was expecting, a Gargoyles remastered game got announced to release later this year. They didn't really show off too much of it. Other than
Yeah.
it's happening. Word on the street is that it's a remaster of the Sega Genesis Gargoyles game.
Oh god, I
Yeah.
think I
say-
played that.
I say word on the street, but like they straight up said it like in the fucking announcement. Which I never played it, but I saw some gameplay after this got announced. Like I actually went and looked at like some Let's Plays of it, and I'm impressed with how good it looks. Like the animation is very, very clean. The gameplay looks really solid. So if they remaster this, I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're gonna do this like
is there a thing they showed a tiny thing right here that says Classic Games Collection, Jungle Book, Aladdin, Lion King. Is that a thing that's out?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that came out like a couple years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it's got all three of those games in it.
It was
And it comes with some extra stuff too. Like it has promotional artwork and concept art you can unlock.
there was the
Wind and pause mechanics too.
there was the like Disney Afternoon collection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they released that one after it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that the duck game.
Oh, like Darkwing Duck or
Scrooge.
DuckTales.
both good.
I remember that DuckTales came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's a dope." That's a dope
DuckTales on the
thing.
NES is like just one of the best NES games there is.
Yeah.
I never played the original. I played the
Remastered.
remaster that WayForward did.
Yeah, it was
That
awesome.
was really good. I love that. Yeah. So is this Gargoyles Remastered gonna be the same idea as that collection? It's just the same game, just on modern systems, or are they gonna completely like redo it?
It looks like that same game from the. Oh, this is original gameplay footage. So they haven't really said or shown anything really about it. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We'll see when that comes out. I like Gargoyles, so I'll probably be checking this out.
It says remastered though, so
Yeah, that's why I think it's gonna be like its own standalone thing with some extra enhancements, but we'll see.
not a remake.
Yeah, it's
A
a
remastered.
remastered, but you know,
Yeah.
who knows what.
But they can call it whatever they want.
DuckTales Remastered was the same name, but they completely redid all the sprite work, so whatever.
Yeah.
They redid the entire game. It was like DuckTales Remastered, which I loved. I thought it was great, but they rebuilt it. It wasn't just an upscale. Like all the levels were redone. They had different paths. Like they added in an extra level to the game, and like
Remix the music, they brought the voice cast in to like voice the game. Like they did a lot of work on that.
yeah.
We also got an announcement for Mirrorverse, which has been a thing for a while, Mirrorverse, but I guess this is a trailer for their villains.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this? It's another like
Mobile
gotcha game turn-based
Yeah.
RPG on mobile.
Which you don't know
But the
until
gimmick, yeah, but the gimmick to this is that like these are like alternative reality like Disney characters that are like and they're crazy. They're like fantasy archetypes. You have like spellcasters, like rangers, warriors. And they look pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. Like some of the designs these characters got are pretty cool.
in the trailer. but
McFarlane
then
Toys. Yeah.
you see the game and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the game's kind of whatever. But what's
I
funny
actually
is that
got
the first time
excited when Hades came
Yeah.
out. I actually got excited. I saw the blue fire and I was like, "Oh shit, Hades!" I was like, more excited than I should have been for.
I mean, Hercules is great,
Yeah,
so that's fine.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool, but I think I'm more into the concept than the actual gameplay.
yeah.
And it's funny because my first exposure to Mirrorverse was actually I would see ads on like Twitter and Facebook for like figures of those characters in their Mirrorverse like outfits. So I saw like Sully from Monsters Inc. with like fucking robot armor and a techno hammer, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I went down this rabbit hole. There's like this whole like thing of it. All of these characters got these like crazy redesigns to fit with this like RPG aesthetic. It's crazy. Like it's crazy the work they put into that. It's a shame it's not attached to a better game.
Yeah.
We also got to look at Disney Speedstorm. It's a karting game by Gameloft.
Uh,
It's gonna have
This game looks awesome. Just gonna put that out there. This looks fucking incredible.
It's Game Loft though. Is this going to be another mobile game or?
That's their.
No,
Isn't that their whole thing?
This is on consoles and PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's free to play. So it's gonna have some microtransaction bullshit, of course. But I don't know, man. I don't know. The gameplay looks. I mean, when they actually show the gameplay, looks pretty fucking badass. I'm like, yo,
yeah, it does look badass. Like I saw some gameplay of it. It looked cool. Like,
and then like
I'm a sucker for a good kart racer, dude. And this looks like it's gonna be a good kart racer.
Yeah. And then the one time where I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna zoom out back on Blessing, and he's gonna be like, wow, that looks fucking incredible. And he was like, he didn't say anything. He was just moving on. I was like, moving on? Yeah, talk about how awesome this looks. You did a fucking mobile game. This looks way better than that. I got a little upset that he didn't pop off when they showed this.
Yeah, this looks cool. Like this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I signed up for the beta test.
Oh, dope.
So
I'll sign up for it too then. I doubt I'll get into it, but I'll sign up for it.
They probably get in. They'll let anyone into these things.
We also got a look at Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's getting a Toy Story Adventure DLC releasing later this fall. Disney Dreamlight Valley is like Disney Animal Crossing. I think it's not a controversial thing to say. That's what it is.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's coming to Game Pass, so you can check it out there.
It just launched on Game Pass like this week.
This game is in early access. You can buy it for like $30 and get early access, or you can play it on Game Pass. So
yeah, so go check that out.
I heard it was good. People are enjoying this game legitimately. So
yeah, that's what I heard too. And it's on Game Pass, so it's like whatever. You know, it's not going to cost me anything.
yeah.
But I can talk quickly this trailer. The way fucking Woody is like moving around, it cracks my shit up, dude. Like the faces he makes, the way he moves around. You ever see those like memes of like people posing like that Woody figure with like anime figures and like really like weird situations?
Yeah.
Like I'm getting the same vibe with the way his face looks when he was talking to her. Like it looks so goofy and weird. Like I love it.
Yeah.
But no, this looks interesting. Like I've heard good things about it too. So it's on Game Pass. So it's like whatever, dude. Just try it. And then something that nobody was expecting, we're getting another Avatar game, Avatar Reckoning, a mobile MMO RPG shooter.
Yeah.
Oh God, just sounds horrible.
The third-person shooter. Yeah.
It's an MMO with like, they showed off weapon customization, clans you'll be meeting. There's no release date yet, but all these things combined, MMO, mobile shooter,
Well,
based on Avatar.
They said there was MMO, but then they go on to say it's a single player game. So there are multiplayer. There's multiplayer parts to it. I guess you can go like you can do competitive like PvE, PvP shit. But then there's also you can like team up with a squad of people to do like missions together. But I don't know why they said MMO because it doesn't really seem like that's the word to describe this.
Is Avatar a thing? Like
that movie.
The first Avatar movie came out like what, 10 years ago?
Here's another one coming.
Yeah, but if there's any time to make it a franchise, it would have been 10 years ago when it was popular.
If you listen to like the plan for it, it's like not only is the new one coming out, but there's supposed to be like 6 more.
Yeah, the original movie was announced to be part of like an epic, and he's like, "Oh, I want like 10 movies. I got ideas for like books and comics." And we got like 1 movie that released in theaters twice, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you like Avatar, cool, but I think there's better movies. Okay, controversial opinion. Avatar came out the same year District 9 did, around the same like 2-month time span. And I'm gonna say it, District 9 was a better movie. Everybody's talking about Avatar like, oh, it's like this reverse like alien invasion movie, or we're the aliens. District 9 did a similar story way better than Avatar did, but nobody fucking talks about that, and I'm still salty about it like 10 years later.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And you know,
No, I'm not. I'm right.
Boys in the
Fuck
Hood
Avatar.
came out. Boys in the Hood came out like 1990, and fucking it's a way better movie than Avatar, and like nobody's talking about it. So I feel you.
Nobody's talking
Oh,
about Boys in the Hood 20
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
I will argue that like Avatar is like an okay movie. Like everybody was talking about how great it was. I saw it on DVD at home on my shitty like 32-inch cathode ray TV.
Yeah.
And when I had to judge the movie based solely on like its storytelling merits, it falls apart. Like that movie's not good if you don't watch it like in a theater.
You telling me you never
If
seen
you're not there to get the 3D
Pocahontas?
experience. So I'll be honest, I think people give it a bad rep comparing it. Oh, it's the same movie as Pocahontas. Like if you boil it down, like Gone with the Wind is the same movie as Pocahontas if you really want to boil it down. But what I don't like about Avatar is that I feel like everybody praised it like it was this like amazing, a new amazing feat of filmmaking. They put it on the same level as like Titanic, and I'm like, which even then wasn't even that good a movie if we're being honest here.
Yeah.
But again, Avatar is only good if you watch it like in theaters. Like take away the crazy 3D effects, take away the surround sound, the big screen, judge it purely on its own like storytelling merits, and it falls apart.
It's like you know what else is better in the theater? Snakes on a Plane.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't hate that movie even watching it at home, so I can see
The
that.
Snakes on a Plane knew what it was. Like I saw it at home too, and it knew what it was. It was a silly movie. I had fun with. That's the kind of movie you could watch and have like fun with if you don't take it seriously. But
Yeah.
Avatar wanted to be this like groundbreaking feat. And the big thing it had going for it was like, oh, look how great this 3D is, look how great the CGI is, which can we really say the CGI in that movie held up today? Like
That's
really?
what all anyone cares about. That's why these Marvel movies are so popular. Because no one actually gives a fuck about the story. I'm talking shit. I'm talking out of my ass. Because I haven't even seen any of those movies. All I know is they're big action movies where shit blows up and people love them. So, but maybe they're actually good movies. I don't know. I watched that Doctor Strange movie, and I thought it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I actually didn't even finish it.
Newest one?
No, the first one.
Oh,
Same
yeah,
thing
the
with
first one sucked.
same thing with like the what was that, Captain America? I watched the second Captain America in the theaters, and I was like, I'm gonna leave. I don't even want to finish this.
It's funny because everyone says second one's like the best one, but I've never seen it.
Hated it. I was like, why is this guy like driving this plane into the ground? Or said it was a plane scene, and I was like, this is terrible. Batman the Bane one, I didn't finish it. I was like, this is trash.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like
No,
anyone
what is-
does care about the explosions. They just want eye candy.
Anyway, Avatar, I reckon it. Yeah, to me, it's a C movie that's somehow getting turned into like a franchise, so it's whatever. If you want to play it, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you, but I question your taste in movies. We also got an untitled game by Skydance New Media. They haven't announced a title for it yet, but it is going to be a new game featuring Black Panther and Captain America set in World War II, which could be
Yes.
cool. Which could be
Yeah.
cool. I
Could
know it's
be.
never going to happen. My dream game would be if they just went hard R with it, like Wolfenstein, and just had me just fucking up Nazis as Captain America and Black Panther. That'd be choice, dude.
Have you all seen what they've been doing with Wolfenstein on PC lately?
No, what have they been doing?
Microsoft basically released, so they're all on Game Pass for PC now,
Yeah.
and Enemy Territory has dedicated servers again.
Oh yeah, I did hear about
Oh.
that. I heard about that, and I wanted to reinstall that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
need
was
to check
like,
that out now.
oh
That looks
god, like
cool.
that's like one of the best multiplayer shooters of all time. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if you're
No
a
one.
PC
I've
person, you need to get on
never.
that.
I've not talked to anyone who's also enjoyed that game. So
Yeah.
those were for me. Those were like the good old days of shooters. That was like the last one.
I'll have to check that out then. But yeah, this game looks cool.
Do you know
Like,
who
it showed
are
off a cinematic. This looks cool. Like I don't
who's
have anything else to say. It looks
who are these people here? Do you know aside from Black Panther and Captain?
If I had to guess, it looks like just random soldiers, like a random like World War II soldier and a random Wakanda soldier. But if I had to guess, the guy on the left is probably someone from Captain America's original team, maybe Bucky or Dum Dum Dugan.
Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay, he's born with that name.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It was probably really popular back in like the 40s. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a different time.
So his name is like Tim or something, or Tom. I think his nickname is like Dum Dum.
Okay.
I don't know why they call him that. The reason I know about him is from the Marvel. What were those like Marvel RPGs, like the Diablo clones that came out like forever ago?
Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance. He's a character in Ultimate Alliance, and he's part of like one of Captain America's like original teams.
You can use him in Ultimate Alliance.
No, he's like a character in it, so
Oh,
he's not a
okay.
playable character. He's an NPC.
Okay.
He gives you missions or something.
Yeah, he's on the Shield helicarrier in the first like mission. Point is, I can't really see it from here. I'm just like guessing, or it's probably just like a generic World War II soldier. But the game says like 4 heroes, so
Yeah.
I don't know. And looking at the profile, get a better look at it. Like I don't see like the mustache that Dum Dum has, so it might not be him. It might just be some random dude.
Yeah.
Or actually, like, didn't like the new shit, the Falcon TV series like introduce some like some
Captain
other
Falcon?
like not Captain Falcon.
I don't think he's
almost
natural
said Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost said it is just the Falcon, but the Falcon Winter Soldier show. Like, there's a whole subplot of like another super soldier after Captain America who was like black, but nobody talks about him because he's black and America hates black people.
Yeah.
I'm not even being controversial. It's like the whole plot is like, oh, I was like this hero in World War II who gave up everything for my country and took all these experiments, but nobody talks about me because I'm black. That might
Wow.
be him. That might be him in this one.
Funny.
Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it. It might just be some just random World War II soldier. I don't know.
Yeah, if it was
But,
random, he wouldn't be one of the 4 heroes.
yeah, that's true. So I don't know.
What
So
about
we'll see when this comes out. I'm gonna guess some Wakanda soldier. I was gonna say that like his bodyguard from the Black Panther movies, but if this is in World War II, this isn't gonna be like T'Challa. This is gonna be like his grandfather, his granddad. So I don't know who this would be, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Like it's a cool concept, honestly. Like
Yeah. Just wait until
Like,
it
this is a
zooms
cool
out. It's a
concept.
mobile game. You're like, yeah.
yeah, I know. Like that's the thing I'm worried about. Like, what is this gonna be? Is it gonna be like? It's gonna be a lot of things. It could just be like a strategy game, like Midnight Suns, or is it gonna be like a looter brawler, like
Looter
Avengers? Like Avengers, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, Avengers had more than 4 people.
It did, but it doesn't mean it was a good game. Or is it going to be
Sure,
like
yeah.
the Square Enix Guardians of the Galaxy game that everyone says is good? So I don't
You know what?
It-
I
it's
don't wanna,
really it's really good.
I don't want to talk shit about Avengers because it does
Why?
do a lot. It does a lot of stuff wrong, but it does a lot of stuff right too. Where it's
The
like,
story
I
stuff it
finished
does
that game.
pretty well.
Yeah.
The characters, it nails the characters, the acting, the motivations, everything else though.
Yeah.
All the live service stuff looks like dog shit. Like
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, so like we'll see. Hopefully they learn their lesson from that. That's not what this is going to be, but we'll see. It's from Skydance Media. What is Skydance worked on?
They're like a movie production house.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
So like, what do they have to do with this then?
By the way,
Visual
you should
novel.
be playing Guardians of the Galaxy. It's on Game Pass and it's amazing.
Yeah, I need to play that.
I need to play it too. They did The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners.
You didn't? Are you sure that's not Skybound or Sky?
Skydance Interactive was the
Okay.
developer.
Okay. That game's not bad. So
It's not good either.
yeah, that's the VR one though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. I heard it was okay.
I mean, we'll see with this. We're speculating a lot on this. We have no idea what it's going to be. We're talking more about this game than like they've actually shown off. So
Well, that's
we'll
what
move
people
on,
do. They
but-
fucking zoom in on the shit. It's like, okay, if you zoom in on this, you can see.
yeah, I
Falcon,
was seeing. Yeah, I was totally wrong. There's no way that soldier's Dum Dum Dugan. Like now that I see him like zoomed out, like that's not him.
Yeah.
He could be anybody. Like I don't know who that could be, but we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's some Marvel fans that are listening, but well, actually, his outline perfectly matches so and so from issue number 321 of Captain America: Secret War.
Well, he's got. They zoomed in on like the scratches on his shield. Made a big deal about that. That's
I mean, it's a shield. He blocks bullets with it. Bullets make
well,
scratches.
yeah, but there's like no, not just scratches. It's like claw marks.
Maybe him and like, Black Panther went at it for a little bit.
Oh, they went at it. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is World War II, man. Like Captain America was like, "What a Negro on the battlefield."
Oh, true,
must
true.
be the
He's not
enemy.
used to that. Yeah.
Oh, he's
I think-
like in a fully covered suit, so probably doesn't even know. Watch the whole game he goes through. He fights alongside him at the end of the game. He's like, "What? You're a Negro?"
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny. I dare them. I dare Disney. Do it. No balls. Do it.
Like,
Do it.
Oh, friend, we've been
wanna-
through these battles. Please remove your face covering so I may see the man who I've been fighting alongside all these years. And he's like, oh.
Oh, I guess you're one of the. Yeah, if Captain America doesn't say he's one of the good ones in this game, I'm going to be disappointed. I want to see a racist Captain America.
Wasn't like Ultimate's Captain America? Wasn't he just like a misogynist or something? Like, wasn't that his whole negative thing about him?
Probably like, I don't know if it was Ultimate Captain America, but comics went through a thing in the '90s of like trying to be really edgy and like
Yeah.
gross. A controversial opinion, but Frank Miller is a lot to blame for that. He has this really weird, like, edgy storytelling style that people like gravitate to. And since like Watchmen came out, people saw like, oh, comics can have like sex, blood, and violence without understanding the nuance and deconstruction of the superhero genre that was in Watchmen. So this made everything like hyper violent and edgy for no reason. So I wouldn't be surprised if like there is actually like a story where Captain America like fucking murders like drug dealers. Like it came out during the war on drugs and he like fucking murders them. Like he is killing these guys and he gets like a boner doing it. Like it's insane. So that was probably a thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
how-
like the
how
whole
much for an
Ultimates
eighth?
universe, like everybody had like a, kind of like a flaw kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure Captain America was just like, he just gave women like no respect or something. He
Yeah,
was just
I
like,
wouldn't be surprised that was a thing.
and
Which
then,
is funny because
yeah.
side tangent here, Stan Lee was actually very, very progressive. And they're so early issues of his comic books, Captain America, Spider-Man, the end of them would have what's called Stan's Soapbox, where we talk about current events. And there's an issue where he talks about the civil rights movement, which was happening in like the 60s when he was still doing comics. And he flat out said, this is like in the 60s when the comic book industry was still Marvel was still pretty small. You know, they had their popular comics, but they weren't the juggernaut they are now. And he flat out wrote, like, if you don't think people of color deserve the same respect as you because of the color of their skin, you can stop reading my comics. So it's funny to think, like, to make jokes about that, but Stan Lee was like a very progressive person even for his time. But yeah, that was a little side note, a little side tangent. But they should make this Captain America racist because it's funny. Moving on. Some Game Pass announcements. Like we said, Disney Dreamlight Valley, like you said, Clay, that's coming out.
It's out.
So that's out, sorry, on Game Pass now. PC, cloud, and console. We got Opus Magnum coming out on PC. Or so that's available now. Train Sim World 3 console and PC is available now. Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. I got the hiccups. Is on PC September 13th. DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace, longest fucking name in the world.
Yes.
Cloud console and PC September 13th. You Suck at Parking. That's not a game, I'm just saying that. No, You Suck at Parking is dropping September 14th, cloud console and PC. Despots games coming out console and PC September 15th. And last but not least, we have Metal Hellsinger. That's the first person shooter rhythm game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The trailer for that came out last year. And am I the only person who remembers a game called Bullets Per Minute?
No, I remember that too. I thought they were related.
No, and I was like, they're like, oh, look at this game. And I'm like, isn't that already out? And I looked it up and it was like, no, it's Bullets Per Minute. And I was like, so they just ripped off that game?
The big difference with this one that separates it is that Metal Hellsinger, I remember their big thing that they were announcing was like, oh, here's all the metal bands we commissioned to like do music for the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they actually have like bands that they license to do music. I think like, I don't quote me on it. I think Cradle of Filth is in it. Who else? Hold on. I'm not even gonna start. I know there are gonna be some metal fans out there like, oh, what? How dare you? Serge Tankian from like System of a Down, like doing music for it. I know he's in it. I say he's in it, but I think he's just doing some music, which is cool. I fucking love Serge Tankian. He's a fucking genius songwriter.
Yeah.
Genius musician, genius songwriter. But yeah, that's the big thing. They brought like pretty big names like the metal industry and just general hard rock music industry to come in here and do some music for the game, which, I mean, if the soundtrack is really important to you, that might differentiate it from Bullets Per Minute.
Right.
Also, like, graphically, it looks a little bit more impressive than Bullets Per Minute did, but...
Okay.
I need the mechanics to work, though. It's not enough to just have
It looks the same way Bullets Per Minute did, though. Like, you have the crosshair, you have the things coming on the side of it. So we'll see how it plays, but it looks like it's just taking the same idea. Yeah. But we'll see what happens with it. Like, it's going to be on Game Pass, so I'll try it. Like, it's not going to cost me anything but my time.
That's one of the things about, like, Necrodancer came out and was like, holy shit, you can do rhythm anything. And now people are trying to do rhythm anything, and it's just not. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this one. And some quickie news: Eidos Montreal now owns the games it developed.
Yeah.
Really quick, remind me, what are some of those games?
Deus Ex.
Tomb Raider.
Thief. Tomb Raider. Yeah, Tomb Raider. I think. Well, Crystal Dynamics also came out and they announced. I think Tomb Raider's under them.
Yeah. That's right. Eidos Montreal. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but they did
Deus Ex.
Yeah, Deus Ex is something I'm excited for. I like the first Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Wait, the first or
the first like of the new series that they did. The first
human
HD series they did.
Humankind something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I never finished it, but I liked it a lot. So
I have not played those.
They're pretty good. If you like this like play how you want like mentality, Deus Ex does that.
Yeah, Deus Ex.
So help me out here on that then, because this was when that first, there were two kind of like reboot games, right? And so the first one that came out, like this is back in like the PS3 360 era, and it was like it had to have a PC only kind of director's cut because the problem people had with it, like apparently when they were making that game, they outsourced all the boss fights to like another company. And that company, when they developed it, they basically made it so you have to go guns blazing in order to beat these bosses.
So
Like-
that they patched that out later with the director's cut.
Yeah, but that
that's-
wasn't on console, right? Like
It
that was
is
only
on
on PC, I
console.
think. Is
They
it?
released it on console, yeah, as like an extra expansion. When they
Okay.
released the expansion to it, which added some extra DLC, they included that director's cut with it.
Oh, okay, that's
So
cool. Then.
it tweaked the whole game around. So now, like, you already had the freedom to play the levels how you want, but it gave you even more freedom to do it with. So it made stealth more viable in the main campaign, and it gave you a stealth, non-lethal option to the boss fights too.
Okay, that's cool then, because I was like, I didn't know that that was released on console because I don't play PC, right? But I was like, if they released that on console, I totally play that game.
Yeah, they released it on console. You can get it on console, so try it out. The sequel to it, Mankind Divided. The worst thing I heard about Mankind Divided, I never played, but the worst thing I heard about is that it's the same. People keep saying it's the same as the first one. So if you like the first one, you'll like the second. So
Right.
try it out for sure. But it's cool though, because you haven't had a new Deus Ex game since Mankind Divided in like what, 2016, 2017?
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see if they can make a new one, you know, something that can kind of scratch that itch for like Cyberpunk games. So we'll see what happens with that.
Have you ever
I
played
think
the like OG versions
No, I
from like the
haven't.
90s?
Everyone tells me they're good, but I haven't played them.
I've
Oh.
played about half of the first one, and the second one actually, I think it was like a PS2 game. And
Yeah, I heard the first one was like a PC immersive sim, and
yeah,
its sequel was like a third person shooter or something.
yeah,
In a similar news, Crystal Dynamics took control of most of its beloved games. So Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain. Fuck, I haven't heard that name forever, Legacy of Kain. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Now they're not under the Square Enix like thumb anymore. Maybe we can start seeing some new Legacy of Kain games, like a remaster or something.
Yeah, hopefully they do that. I think they're only announcing this because they have to, because they now own the metrics, like the data, basically,
Yeah.
like all the personal data from that's gathered from playing people who play those games. They now own that data. They control that stuff, so they have to like let people know. They have to disclose that, I guess, and for their like privacy purposes and shit. So that's why they're announcing this, but they can make new games now with those properties, which is cool because also like IO Interactive was also able to part ways with Square and retain the rights to Hitman, and that
Yeah.
did well for them. So
By the way, I jumped into Hitman the other day. I played. So they released like for Hitman 3, they released a new island, which like includes its own like campaign mission.
yeah,
That's
And I was so I checked that out, and because it's on Game Pass, so you can just download and play it. It comes with it. It was a lot of fun.
yeah.
Hitman's great.
I never played the original Hitman games. I played the new ones that they've released, the new trilogy. I played the first one a bit, and it's good. It's really good.
it's
Yeah.
good.
I haven't played a game that scratches that Phantom Pain itch. I haven't played anything like Phantom Pain, and these new Hitman games come the closest to it.
Yeah,
It doesn't
they're so
quite get
good.
there, but it comes the closest to that Phantom Pain gameplay that I liked. So, yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Yeah, I think in a
Um,
different way, Breath of the Wild kind of does that.
Breath of the
Phantom
Wild
Pain
does it
shit.
very similar, yeah.
Yeah,
What I liked about Phantom Pain is that it lets you go about missions the way you want, but also there's room for like improvisation if something goes wrong.
yeah,
I think Phantom Pain is the most rewarding if you play a mission out to the end when things go wrong.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, like, one of my favorite moments I like to talk about with Phantom Pain, I'll make it quick. I had a mission to go in, get this guy, and get out was my whole mission. And I spent like a good 10 minutes, surveying the area, checking the angles. I planned my route to go through. I marked a bunch of enemies. I was like, cool, I'm going to make it quick, get in, grab the dude, get out like a ghost. No one's going to see me. And so as I was doing it, I fucking get spotted by a car that's turning the corner. The dude in the car like saw me. And I was like, well, shit, my tranquilizer is not going to be able to take him out because he's in a car. So I pulled out my assault rifle and shot him down. I was a ways away from the base, so I had some time while enemies like ran to the car to see what happened. So in a panic, I like threw a bunch of C4 on the car and fucking booked it into the mission. So now these guys are like, they don't know where I am. They know I'm there, but they don't know where I am because I ran away from the scene of the crime. And as they're looking for me, I had already marked them before, so I knew like a good chunk of them were at that car. So I fucking blow the car up
Yeah.
and make an even bigger explosion. So everyone in the base is running to the car to see what that explosion was. And I was still able to get in, get my target, and get out while the whole base was like looking for me. It was such a cool, organic experience that I've never experienced any game that can do that for me, except maybe Max Payne. And it was so cool. I haven't played any other game that does that.
The best way to play that game is to turn off all of the assists. Turn off the you know how you get caught and it goes that like the slow-mo thing. Turn that off. Turn off marking enemies. Turn everything off and play it like a fucking real Metal Gear game. And it's just it completely changes the way you approach situations.
It's really cool. I played through it a second playthrough with that, and it's really good. And the game is just, it's designed, it does I say it does the Breath of the Wild thing, but I should say Breath of the Wild does the Phantom Pain thing, where everything like kind of works together in its system. So, with Breath of the Wild, if it's raining, not only does it, it obscures enemies' vision so they can't see you. It obscures their hearing so they can't hear you sneaking up on them. But also it makes it harder to climb stuff. It makes your electric weapons unusable. Phantom Pain does a lot of that with like the environment and the way these mechanics play together. The stuff you can do with the cardboard box alone is like insane.
Yeah.
You can go surfing.
You can surf on it. You could put a sticker on it, distract people. So if a guy catches you with it, they're like, "Ooh, look at that sexy lady." You can sneak out the back of the box.
Yeah.
While they're too busy looking at the, it's so unique how much shit there is in that game.
The enemies will react to your play style if you like rely on shit a lot. They'll be like, "Oh, this guy likes to get headshots. Well, we're gonna start wearing helmets." Or they like throwing smoke grenades. Well, we're gonna start wearing gas masks. Shit
they
like
come out at night. We're gonna start wearing night vision goggles.
Yeah.
And the best part, it doesn't ruin the game either, because you're like, "Oh, I can't do that the rest of the game." No, like you can get a mission to find their supply chain where they're getting all this shit, and then blow up their supply chain, and then it's not a problem for another couple missions. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I heard like Kojima had even more ideas, but Konami pulled the plug because it was going over budget. I am so sad we're never gonna see like the Phantom Pain Kojima had in his head, because it would have been a fucking masterpiece, dude.
It's such a bummer that they'll never get to
It's a huge bummer.
iterate on that, because the best thing about Breath of the Wild is that they can learn from that first game and make a better one next time around. But that it's a bummer they can't do that with Metal Gear. I mean, they could, but
Konami's not going to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a bummer. And the Fox engine too was so good.
Oh yeah.
It was very graphically impressive scenes without sacrificing performance. Like, it was insane how well that game ran.
That game was on PS3 and 360.
Yeah, and it ran great on it. Like, it's insane. Oh my god. All right, enough sucking off Phantom Pain. Especially I love that game. Like, I'm like sad that we're never gonna see like Phantom Pain director's cut. With like all the stuff Kojima wanted, the vision he had for the game. Like, you can tell the game is like hindered by the budget and Konami pulling the plug on it before it was done. You can tell like that's a stink that sits on the game that brings it from like an S tier game to like an A-. It's so disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. Anyway, back to quickies. The new Pokemon game has a Let's Go feature. Basically, you can send your Pokemon out to battle and stuff independent from you. And they can come back with like items, experience points. Cool idea. Don't know if it's enough to like really change up the formula, but it's a cool idea.
Yeah. Looking at some of the stuff they're like showing about this game, it does some parts of it are like, oh yeah, they're taking this from Arceus a little bit.
Yeah.
You kind of see a little bit of that, but I wish they went more into that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that on this one. I think the next game though, they're gonna
Yeah.
like because of how frequently they pump out these Pokemon games, they're working on them so far ahead of time. I think with the next Pokemon game, we'll start seeing that influence on it. So don't worry on it.
What I'm curious is like how long can you leave them out, and how far away can you walk
Yeah,
before
that's
it
another thing I'm
like.
interested in too.
But yeah, it's a cool little feature.
And some new trailers and videos. You got to look at Cyberpunk 2077's new expansion, Phantom Liberty. It's a new expansion that opens up missions in what's called the Combat Zone. It is a lawless, chaotic area of Night City that is under no real government rule. It's just total anarchy, craziness, and unfortunately, very important military person has crashed into the Phantom Zone, and you are contracted to go in and bring them out, or the Combat Zone. You're contracted to go in and bring them out. Think of it like Escape from New York.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like
Yeah.
Escape from New York to me.
It's very much Escape from New York, and I'm 110% okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the president of the United States or someone close to them. I can't remember, but it opens up with V taking like their oath to the government. Which, if you don't know anything about Cyberpunk, like the U.S. military is not even a superpower, really. The whole world's owned by like 3 organizations, and the military doesn't even have the resources to back it up, really. But this is really cool. I like this idea because a lot of people don't know this, but Johnny Silverhand was actually a service member. He was drafted in the military to fight in the war with Mexico, which there's a war with Mexico in the Cyberpunk lore. So, and it was his experience, like, yeah, and it was his experience in that war that like made him so like anti-authority. So, the fact that this expansion takes place before the end of the game, Johnny Silverhand's there. I want to see like what his dialogue is, what he thinks of you, like basically whoring yourself out to the establishment that he hates the most would be really interesting.
There's so much just backstory with this series that I'm like, oh, this all sounds interesting, but when I play the game, I just I couldn't get into it. But that's why I reinstalled it and not uninstalled it. But I need to get back into this and really just.
It's good, and a lot of the story, like I didn't know this like going in. Like I learned this stuff playing through the game. Like characters like drop lines about their history all the time.
Yeah.
And you can find like books and stuff about like Johnny Silverhand, and it's really cool to see like his like opinion on stuff. Even the Nomad group, the Aldecaldos, like you talk with them, most of them were like service members, and they've served in they were drafted into the military like forever ago, and they're all fucked up from it. Like it's crazy. It's it's a really interesting world, Cyberpunk. It's really, really cool. And like, that's why I like it so much. I think like my like love of like the world itself, the lore, the mythos is kind of overshadowing my judgment a little bit on some of the other like details of the game that people have problems with, but I like it a lot. And I'm really excited to play this expansion when that comes out. It's set to come out what is it, like late 2023? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see when that drops.
They're saying this is the first and only DLC, so I'm hoping it's significant.
Yeah, me too. They did also announce that like there's no support going to the last gen version of Cyberpunk. So sorry if you're playing on a PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, shame on
You're
you.
not going to see Phantom Liberty. You're not going to see any new patches, new updates. So sorry. But honestly, controversial opinion here, Cyberpunk should have done that from the beginning, if I'm being honest.
True story.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if they hadn't wasted a lot of development time trying to have this run on older systems, we would have had a much better game at the end of the day. But, oh well.
They got their refund.
I can't wait. Yeah, they got their refund. So, and if you didn't get your refund, I mean, that's on you. You had the chance to do it.
Yeah.
Um, But no, Phantom Liberty, I can't wait for this. We just got like a quick cinematic of it, but even then, like, I'm into it, dude. Like, bring it on. I can't wait to see what this is. Next trailer we got is Foxhole, the official 1.0 preview.
Yeah.
What is this game?
So you don't know what this is, and neither did I before I looked at this. It's a how do you explain it? It's an MMO military game, right?
Yeah.
Where imagine like Planet Side. You know, Planet Side is like, for what I imagine Planet Side. I only played it a little bit, but it's like a whole. You get a whole country, and you get different factions warring for control over different areas of an entire huge land, right? So that's what this game is. It's a war that's consistent, persistent, whether you're there or not. It's a war is going on, and two different factions are fighting each other.
Is it a FPS or
No, it's a top-down MMO. But the cool. Okay, here's why I put this in here. Is because it's fascinating what you can do with it. Because the combat isn't a main focus. I mean, it is if you want to be a combat guy, but you can also be the guy that just makes bullets. Everything in this game is made by the players, down to the bullets, the guns, you can set up trains to take things from the back to the front lines. You can everyone has to build the tanks. Everyone has to build the transportation. Everyone has to build everything. Everything has to be built by the players, and then things has to be built to carry stuff from the workstations to the actual front lines where the people are fighting. You got to worry about
like the infrastructure for it too. The what's the term for it? What's the term for it? When you're the logistics. You got to worry about the logistics.
Yeah. Because they were describing really cool. Oh yeah, you can build train lines and you can build all this shit, and I'm like, what? How much time would it take to build a fucking train station and shit like this? And it would take a lot of time.
Funny you bring that up because so many war games focus on like the combat side of it, but nobody really understands that. Like a lot of wars and stuff are won with logistics. Like.
Yeah,
it's who can get stuff to the battlefield more efficiently is what determines like who wins the war. Like,
so
there's a story that like in World War II, the U.S. there are rumors the U.S. could like have the logistics in place to like bring a whole fucking cake from like the United States to Germany for someone's birthday without fucking it up, and like that's what like helped us win the war, is that we had these like insane logistics
because we had cake, bro.
Well, it's not that. It's that we had the ability to get that cake there. No, you can say all you want, like, the bigger weapon, the better tactical advantage, but at the end of the day, like, if you spend all this time like trying to take a territory, you don't have the ammo, the food, the supplies to back it up, and no way to get it to your troops, they're not going to win that push. So
Max's Mayhem in the chat. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Max? So it's cool to see a game kind of like focus on that like, hey, you need to get these supplies.
Yeah.
And you got to focus on the production, the logistics, the infrastructure, the transportation, all of that to like really progress here. I like that a lot. That's really cool.
It's hard to explain. There's a good channel, Moy Dog. He has a good video on his channel where he gets his whole like YouTube people, and he's like, oh, we're gonna set up a squad, and we're gonna have one mission to take this area of the map and just really do a huge push, and just the story that he builds, because in the grand scheme of thing, they really make not a huge impact on the whole war, but what they do contribute is just a small piece that can change the whole outcome of the whole thing. And that's really what it's about. It's like these small pushes, these small contributions where this one bullet can make a change down the road for someone who used that bullet to make a big change in the overall grand scheme of the war. And it's just
Love that. I'm
it's
into this, dude.
yeah, it's a really
I'm into
cool
this.
concept. They've been building this. It's been in early access since like 2017. And this is the
Okay.
1.0 update. So I guess it's finally coming out of early access, and it's just super impressive. Like I had no idea this was a thing, but yeah, just looking at it, I was like, this is really cool. This is
I'm
really
into it, dude. This looks cool as hell.
Yeah.
I'm into this. Okay, I want to check this out. I'm bookmarking this. This is my contribution. This next trailer. This is Stray Blade. This is a Souls-like action RPG that got announced a little while ago. But what's really interesting in this, there's two. I put two trailers up. The customization trailer is the first one I want to go over. So the level of customization here for your character, your weapon, your equipment. There's so much here that it's getting like that RPG player part of my brain. It's going. I want to see numbers go up. I want to see skill trees get filled out. But it's really cool when you see like the actual customization. Like you can build the weapon the way it looks, the color of the blade, the color of the hilt. I've heard rumors you can like customize the length of the sword too if you want.
You getting crystals to build your
Yeah. But what's cool is that like there's a point like about a minute, 13 seconds into the trailer where you see there's like a whole skill tree with different weapons. They're all like missed, they're question marks. You haven't unlocked them yet, but it looks like these weapons are going to have their own skill trees, different ability stuff you can unlock for them. So this isn't like Diablo with like randomly generated loot. These are like pre-designed, like pre-built weapons that with a purpose.
Is it per weapon or per weapon type? Like is every like long sword gonna have the same?
So it looks like it's per weapon because the long sword he's carrying is like the picture in the profile there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
which is
Wow.
weird because like you can also customize the way the weapon looks. So how does that work?
Go back to this tree. Look at this fucking skill tree. Oh, so
Yeah,
each
dude, there's so
weapon
much
is
stuff.
on here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But
But if
they
you look,
only
some
have
weapons
like
connect
one.
to each other.
They
Yeah, but
connect
if you
to
look
each-
at the very top of the tree, some stuff connects to each other.
Oh
So
yeah,
what is
yeah.
that? It's like, what is that? Like, it looks. I'm already like, okay, this is. I'm interested. I like skill trees in
Yeah.
games, so
Apparently.
I'm interested. I'm interested. I am, man. I got a boner for skill trees. I'm not gonna deny it. But on top of that, the gameplay looks solid. Like the second trailer shows off the combat and some of the character customizations. You can actually customize the way you look, the way the color of your clothes, what you're wearing. And the combat looks incredible. It looks a little bit faster than Dark Souls with these really crazy finishers that I like to see. It reminds me a bit of like Kingdom of Amalur, the way the finishers, how detailed the finisher animations are.
Have you all played the Re-Reckoning version of that yet?
I have. It's the same game.
Okay. I liked the original, and I was gonna play the Re-Reckoning. I just haven't got around to it yet.
It's the same game, so
Yeah.
if you like the original, the Re-Reckoning does have a new expansion that doesn't come with the game. You have to buy it separately.
Okay.
So with like new skill trees and new character customization options. So that's something to look into if you liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. This is a game that just popped up on my social media feed. And I kind of went down a rabbit hole like looking into it. There is an option to sign up for the beta.
I don't want a Souls game, dude. It's kind of bumming me out.
I do when the combat is like this, like over the top and visceral. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. Like the combat's like flashy and crazy enough that it doesn't have like that really punishing, like Souls formula.
Like
You know, the
say
very defensive act react formula that Dark Souls has.
those Dynasty Warriors games get a lot of flack for being like just I don't know
Terrible.
boring, I guess. But like I like the idea of just being a guy just mowing down
I love it too.
innocent people, not innocent people. just mowing down like a bunch. I like the power fantasy of just.
Yeah, me too. I like that idea. You come home from work and it's like, I want to just make this battlefield my bitch for like an hour. Like, yeah, it's fun. And this game, you know, it looks like it's doing the Dark Souls things. It's a bit more punishing than that, but it looks like the combat is very reaction heavy. Like I'm seeing these like random blocks that look like they can interrupt your normal attack. So looks like you can block kind of at will. And there's like rewards for like perfect parries and stuff. That's got me a little excited. You know, intricacies like that, like I think are cool. So seeing this, like I think I'm gonna have fun with this. I signed up for the beta. I haven't gotten any word back yet, so I probably didn't get approved, but I'm into this enough that I signed up for the beta. So
tell them you're Rick though.
I did.
And then they're like, "Oh shit, you didn't say that."
I'm like, I'm Rick from Gameverse.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Whoa, here, you know what? Sorry about that. Have some money.
Yeah.
Have some money. Sorry
wish.
about that."
But yeah, we'll see what they say. Like, they did one of the questions they make you fill out a questionnaire to like apply for the beta. One of them is like, you know, are you part of any like Discord community or any like gaming community that we should be aware of? So I put down the Gameverse information.
Yeah.
I see if that'll give me an edge. I doubt it, but
you should be aware.
But no, this is cool. Like I'm into this. Next game I was into is Evil West. It's a third person Old West fantasy horror style third person action game. I say third person action games. It's got like crazy melee combat, crazy shooting combat. It's from Flying Wild Hog, the Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah. And this looks cool. Like I don't really know what else to say about it. It looks pretty badass. Like it goes on for like 13 minutes. I don't know if you want to like watch this whole thing, but
it looks a lot like it looks a lot like Outriders.
A little bit. Now that you mentioned it, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And I liked Outriders, so
yeah.
Yeah, this looks like Outriders are the better story, and I'm okay with that. This is another game that kind of turns on that superhero fantasy a little bit. It reminds me of like Doom mixed with like Outriders, and I'm okay with that.
I don't even know what's happening here, to be honest. This looks crazy. I thought this was supposed to be West.
Yeah.
Why am I seeing the fucking Tesla coil?
It's this weird like fantasy. I think the subgenre for it is Weird West. It's called the subgenre.
Okay.
And it's like old Western like aesthetics with like supernatural and steampunk. Like the game Weird West like is a good example of it, but I guess that's like the term for the genre. Like how Cyberpunk, even though like that's a standalone franchise, like the term Cyberpunk is a term for like that style of like aesthetic. Like Weird West is the style for this aesthetic here.
Is this a loot game?
Or like steampunk.
Well, steampunk, although when you hear steampunk, it's like, you know, Victorian.
Yeah, but I mean, but
like,
that's that aesthetic of Victorian mixed with like steam and pipes everywhere.
Yeah, Weird West is like a
Monocles.
more specific. Yeah, Weird West is more specific. Weird West is like Old West aesthetic with like supernatural stuff, maybe some like low tech sci-fi infused into it.
Yeah,
like Weird West is like a weird thing that like I guess has been a thing for a while, but I've never really seen stuff with it. Which is cool because like I'm into that a little bit. Like, you know, this Dark Watch, you know, back on the PS2 was like another game.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so stuff like that is like really cool to me. And I really like this for that reason. I think it's a cool look. I think it's a cool like genre, like subgenre.
Fucking looks good.
To like look at. Yeah, this looks dope, dude. This looks cool as hell. Like I'm into this. I can't wait till this comes out.
I like Flying Wild Hog also. They do good.
Yeah,
The
Flying Wild Hog is
tooltip
good
here.
shit.
Press L1 to block to electrocute the enemy. What? Yeah, this looks dope.
This looks dope as hell. Hey, there's so much cool shit here. That weird thing he did where he does like a fucking Shoryuken and he follows them up in the air and punches them back down to the ground. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's cool as hell.
That's how they fought in the Old West, bro.
Yeah,
This is some cool shit here, dude. I love this. Like,
Don't you remember when like John Wayne used to do that to people all the time in movies?
I remember that, yeah. And I remember he teleported behind some guy and was like, "Nothing personnel, kid," and then like banished him to the Shadow Realm.
And he was like,
Yeah.
"You want to dance?" And then Shadow Realm. There you go.
But no, this looks cool as hell. Like I'm super into this.
Is this a loot?
And
I want loot though. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, this needs to be like a Diablo.
Or why can't it just be like a Doom?
It can.
And just,
It
like, let me,
can
like,
be.
fuck shit up.
It's just I would, you know, me personally, I just want everything to be a Diablo.
We'll see when it comes out. Like I think
want
it's gonna have a
Warriors
skill tree.
Diablo.
I think it's gonna have like a skill tree to it, so you can unlock like new abilities and stuff, and you can affect like how you play. There's not too much. I kind of kept myself away from a lot of the information because I kind of want to be surprised by the game, but also I'm like, I want to know more about it because this looks so cool. So we'll see when it comes out, man. But I'm into this. Like I've been following this game for a little while now, and it looks better and better every time I watch something on it.
Yeah, I'll get this in the
Moving
wish
on, we
list.
got, yeah, dude, do it. Moving on, so we're going down to the game releases now. We got September 13th, a couple days. You got Freedom Planet 2 dropping on PC. I forgot that was happening. Asanzo is dropping on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. So you can go check that out when that releases. Little Orpheus is also dropping on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, PS1, Xbox One, and Series X.
PS1.
Yeah, PS1. You can go back to
Dope.
99.
Coming back.
I can install it on my PlayStation Classic, right? Boom. Yes, I have one of those.
No, you can
That's
play it on
fine.
your PS5 though.
I can play it cloud streaming on my PS5.
Sure. SCP Secret Files is also coming out for PC. This is actually pretty cool because it's like, I want to talk about this one really quick.
What, the Chinese
SCP
made this game.
Well, what's cool is that it's almost like, how can I word it? Like a compilation. So like different SCPs are different stories and they're different games. Like I see games in here that are like first person point and click games, and like I saw some like third person driving mechanics, and there's one in here that's like an isometric game. So I think it's like a compilation of like different games relating to different SCPs. So that would be cool to see. It could be good or it could be terrible, but it's interesting at least.
Isn't SCP? Isn't that
A creepypasta, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a creepypasta like series. So it's like an alternate universe idea that within our society there exists this this organization called SCP. It stands for Secure, Contain, Protect, and they house and hold on to like unexplainable cryptids, artifacts, and it's a user uploaded thing.
Think of Control.
Yeah, exactly, Control.
Yeah.
But the gimmick with it is that it's a user submitted thing. You can go onto the SCP website. It's documented like a top secret organization, but users can actually upload their own SCP stories, and they're all categorized by number. And you can upload your own story, and users can decide whether it stays as part of the SCP canon or it's just like a side thing that you did for fun. It's actually pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of like role playing involved with it. The stories are written out like government documents, so it's not going to read like a traditional narrative. It's written like a government document with accounts from other people. It's being filed by personnel within the corporation, and there's even parts of it that are redacted to make the story like more interesting. It's really cool. Like I kind of like what it's done, and this seems to kind of be based on that, where every different SCP file, it looks like it's going to be a different game. So this is pretty cool. Like I like this idea here. SCP is something that's really cool that I wish like got more attention because there's a lot of like really cool stuff in it. So we'll see when that comes out, like what the reviews look like. I doubt it's gonna like really make any waves, but it's cool that it's happening. Next on releases, we got Sunday Gold releasing on PC. It's a point-and-click, turn-based adventure game set in a grim dystopian future. Play as a ragtag trio of criminals to hunt down and expose the dark secrets of an evil mega corporation and the malevolent billionaire behind it.
Whoa, I like the art style here. This looks
Yeah,
cool.
I love the art style. That's all I want to talk about a little bit. I love the art style here. It's got this this old pulp magazine comic look to it, which I like a lot. And it kind of reminds me of 13 a little bit with the way comic book stuff pops up on the screen, like Blam, and
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It's a cool aesthetic. I like it. It's dropping September 13th, so I'm going to add this to the wish list. I might end up checking this out. We also got Voice of Cards, The Beasts of Burden. This is an RPG where everything is shown through the medium of cards. So already I'm not interested.
I'm out.
But it is coming from Yoko Taro, the Nier guy. So I'm interested
Oh.
again. Yeah, so I'm interested again.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. I had no idea. This is like a straight up Square Enix game.
Yeah.
They're doing some weird stuff lately, but I like it. They're mixing it up.
I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. I'm not a big card fan, but Yoko Taro makes some crazy shit. So
Yeah, this will
if you
get
can
me into
bring
card
that same
games, I
level of,
guess.
yeah, if you can bring a same level of subversion to this, fucking sign me up, dude. This looks cool.
Oh god damn it. When is this coming out? Tuesday?
September 13th. Yeah.
30 bucks. I'll check this out.
Yeah, dude. It looks cool.
Got De Nuvo.
Up next is 13. So here's some backstories. I don't think we talked about this.
13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, 13. So 13 is a first-person shooter that came out 2005, 2008.
Yeah.
And it got a remaster last year, or a remake last year. It was garbage. It was hot dog shit. Nobody liked it. It's getting a major update that's releasing on the 13th, the same date it's dropping for the Switch. That's supposed to completely overhaul the game.
Okay.
I forgot to talk about this because they announced it weeks ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they called it, but they're re-releasing it as a whole new game. They're completely overhauling it.
I've only played a little bit of the original, and I did not play the remaster or whatever they call it because of everybody just saying this is the worst thing ever. But I do remember seeing something about how when they said they were re-releasing it again and again and again, they basically said, we know, we're going to fix it, and they basically put in more man hours to fix it.
Yeah.
Which is commendable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna drop as a whole new update.
Yeah.
I can't find the trailer, but they showed off
this?
Yeah, I can't find the trailer, but they showed off a whole trailer where they're like, hey, we're redoing the game basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're rebuilding it again just to apologize to everyone.
It's sitting at overwhelmingly negative on Steam right now. What's the issue that people have with
there's
it?
a lot of graphical hiccups with the game. The game doesn't run really smooth on really any system. They took out a lot of the comic book aesthetic stuff, so the cutscenes were told in a comic book style. They took that out, and now it's just straight in-engine cutscenes that look like dog shit. Also the game's buggy as fuck. Apparently, there's constant issues with the animation, with the hit scanning. The game was just completely broken at launch. People have said that the original game runs better than the remake did. And so they took that to heart and completely redid it. I can't find the trailer, but they released the trailer a little while back where they're basically hey, this is the 13 remake.
We're remaking the game. It's $6 right now on GOG. So maybe
the original or the remake?
No, the remake. So you can grab
That might
it.
be worth grabbing then. I found this. Hold on.
It's on Steam. They have it on Steam. Well, an announcement of the.
So here is a trailer on PS5 of the game, the new version of the game. Apparently, the original remake, it's so annoying to have to say that, but when the remake first came out, it didn't even run at like 60 FPS. Like, that's like how bad it was.
Yeah, they're announcing 60 FPS as one of the bullet points. 30 FPS on Switch though, so not entirely.
Yeah, so here's like kind of something to look at, which people have said this is going to be like the game you remember, but with better graphics, more modernized gameplay. So it might be worth checking out here. But yeah, so that's why they're not porting that remake over to the Switch. They're like, this is a new version of the remake. It's dropping on every console as a free update on the 13th, and it's also releasing on the Switch with that update installed. So,
That's
go check
cool.
it out. It might be worth picking up. I mean, you said $6 on GOG, so fuck it, just try it, I guess.
Yeah.
September 15th, we got Bear and Breakfast. The laid back management adventure game where you run a bed and breakfast and you're a bear. That's cool.
And out of 10.
I like beds. I like sleeping. I'm a lazy fuck. I like breakfast. I think bears are cool.
Yeah.
So this game sounds like right up my alley. Now jokes aside, like this is a cute little management game. So if that's your cup of tea, go check it out. This looks like fun. We also got Blind Fate. What is this? Ito no Yami.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
I played this game in one of the demo derbies. You're a blind samurai who also has a gun, I think. And you're blind, so one of the mechanics is you have like echolocation or something. So you can temporarily see the enemies, but you're basically working off of like sound. They don't really show that in these like trailers, but it goes dark, and then so you have to like use the sound that the enemies make, and then it'll kind of show them temporarily in the screen, and so you use that to kind of just
I'm not seeing that at all from these trailers. I'm
They
watching
don't
the
show
second
that.
gameplay trailer,
Yeah.
and it's just like it looks like a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's a little weird that they don't show that because it's one of the. Or is that just something they changed? This game hadn't come out. It was a while ago when I played this. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they just completely changed that whole thing. That's why they call it Blind Fate. It's because you're fucking blind. So when I played it, like most of the game was like dark, and you couldn't see anything. And then you had to like use the sound of the enemies to kind of dodge around, and then I think there was a way you could see temporarily, but I don't know. Maybe
Look into it then.
maybe they
September
changed
15th.
a
This
lot.
looks cool. I might like this.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah. We also got Despot's game coming out. It's a roguelike tactic battler. Looks cool. Not my cup of tea, but looks cool. That's dropping on everything you can play it on, so check it out. PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox One. We also got John Dungeons 3 releasing September 15th. Never played Dungeons before.
Dungeons 3. It's hard to follow up Dungeons 2, so I'm excited to see what they do with Dungeons 3.
They're like what could I word it? They're like tower defense games, right?
Oh, that's a bummer because when you say dungeons, I'm thinking
Dungeon
Diablo.
crawler, nah. No.
So I'm out.
It's like Dungeon Master
RTS. Yeah.
or Dungeon Keeper.
Well, yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah. We also got I'm gonna fuck this name up. Fault-STP-Lightcraft. Lightcraved.
Okay.
It's
What do you think this game is? Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's a visual novel. Weird ass name like that. Anime aesthetics, visual novel. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a visual novel fan, so I'm not gonna pick it up. But if you are, go ahead, check it out.
Yeah.
September 15th, we have Metal Hellslinger coming out. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the show. That is going to be releasing day one on Game Pass, so check that out.
Day one Game Pass.
Yep. But this looks
let
cool.
me
I'm going
scroll
to
down
definitely
here,
check it out.
See some of the names they have on this. Yeah. Surge, Trivium, Matt Heafy, Dark Tranquility, Lamb of God, Arch Enemy, Ginger. So, you know,
There's some names on here, dude. Like
yeah,
they're bringing some pretty big name artists onto this. I mean, if you're, I've only heard of a couple of these bands, but I have
yeah.
friends who are like huge metal fans that probably know everyone here.
I'm hoping it's all. It would be dope if they like collaborated on some tracks too. Like if you had like Surge with the Trivium guys. Are they just
So I
do this?
guess the tracks are, according to the description here, every track is created specifically for the game with vocals by Metal Icons. So I guess they're not writing the music; they're just doing the vocals.
Oh, that would be a bummer if they're just like that's a bummer. 'Cause I don't listen to these bands for the vocals for the most part, but
There's a disclaimer like right underneath here: DMCA and copyright information. We fully own the songs as they are specifically written, produced, and performed for the game. For content creators, you've done everything from our side to make sure strikes won't happen.
okay.
So that's
Good if
probably
they
why they did it, because like,
well, they could have made original music. Like they could have
well, if
had
the
System of a
artists were the
Down
ones
come in.
writing it, the
Yeah,
artists were the ones writing it. There's like a whole other like level of negotiation to like maintain the rights for it if the other artist wrote it versus like you writing it and having them like do the vocal work.
Mm.
So I could see why that was probably a thing, but it looks cool. Like if you're a metal fan, I'm sure like a lot of these Serge Tankian is a fucking amazing vocalist. So I
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of want
yeah,
to hear what tracks he's done.
yeah,
He's the only name here that I'll actually recognize. Like I know the rest of these bands. I know who Arch Enemy is. I know who Lamb of God is. I know who Trivium is. But I couldn't tell you anything about their vocal work. But Serge Tankian though, like, fuck. Let me
yeah.
hear that.
I was just hoping that they I don't know they like I want some like collaborate. I want to hear them together in a way because I know like was it Lamb of God? They like did a collaboration with like Feist or something. I was like, this is insane. Getting these people together and hearing what that would sound like. Uh, so I don't know. I like a good crossover, but
Yeah, same.
let's hear a little bit of this. Okay. Okay. No, I'm in. I'm in.
I'm into it, dude. I'm into it. That sounds cool as hell.
Like, yeah. Maybe a couple seconds of that. Yeah, I'm in.
Like that little bit of it was like Serge Tankian as fuck. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a demo on Steam right now, so you can check it out.
I'm like listening to the whole song now and I'm into it. Well, it's a trailer that shows the song off.
Yeah.
I'm into this. I mean, you can play the demo if you want, but the game's dropping on like the 15th. It's going to be on Game Pass, so I'll just play it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Wasabi's favorite game, Outer Wilds, is dropping on current gen systems, PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Not just my favorite game, it's the greatest game ever made. So
I still have to go and beat it. I gotta get it back into it. I will find the time to like dedicate to it and play it. I promise. And last but probably least, SBK 22.
that there's a soft spot in my heart for these games because this was the first. This is my introduction. Not this game specifically, but it was like one of these games, which it was like my introduction to Xbox Live. There was like a demo of it on Xbox Live, and I was like, yeah, this is like fun. But there's no. Is this gameplay or is this like video? Hard to tell. This is video. SBK. The kids call it SBK, but we know it as World SBK.
So one word on there.
Superbike. It's a bike motorcycle racing game. So
Mm.
they call them superbikes, I guess, is what SBK. People are into this, I guess.
I mean, this if this is your cup of tea, man. Like, well, good on you. I'm not gonna like shit on your taste.
Get your lean on.
That's not it's not for me.
Yeah.
Get your lean on, is that what you said?
That's all I know about bike racing is you lean a lot. You get your knee on as close to the ground as possible.
Oh my god, that reminds me of a funny story, dude. So like I had driven like motorcycles before. Just not like professionally or anything or like on a track. Just my cousin had a motorcycle and we would just take it to like this we just take it out and just drive it around the neighborhood and stuff. And I knew like you kind of have to lean into the turn a little bit when you go to turn on a two-wheel bike. Yeah. That's what I've driven on. And again, nothing serious, just fucking around town and stuff. But I went camping with some cousins and they had a quad. And
Ooh.
I never driven a quad before, so I asked him, "Do you just drive it like a normal bike?" And it's like, "Yeah." Like I lean into the turn with it, and he's like, "Yeah, you still lean into the turn." And I was doing it. I felt myself like about to flip over, and I'm like, "I don't know if that's right, dude." And he's like, "No, you just lean into it like you do with the bike." And I fucking flipped the bike over on top of myself. And when you're on a quad, let's say you turn left, you got to lean your body right away from the turn, or else you'll flip the fucking thing over. And I didn't know that. And so I flipped it over on top of myself and fucked myself up like doing it.
Well, that's what
nobody
you do
could
with
like
a
tell
bike
me.
too, though. Well, because that's the physics are you lean the bike over one way, but your body has to like counter the other way. So like the bike goes one way, you go the other way with your body, and that's what keeps the physics in balance.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how fast you're going.
Yeah.
With a quad, when you're four-wheeling, speed is there's not hitting the same speeds you are on like a two-wheel bike. So that's what happened to me. I fucking fucked myself up on this.
Yeah.
And it rolled on top of me. And everyone else was like, "Why would you listen to him? You have to lean away from it. That's how you do it." Like, well, he fucking said that. They're just like, "Well, he was wrong. Like, you shouldn't have listened to him." Oh man, that is a memory unlocked right there. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here, saying hi to us. This one ran a bit longer than normal shows, even though we had like nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
It was still cool.
Check out the live stream. Check out the raw live stream if you're listening to this, the edited version, because we did like 45 minutes before the show. I don't remember what we were talking about, but it was a good
Just video
chat.
games in general.
Yeah, it was a good chat.
Yeah.
Clay said that Bayonetta was wrong, so I had he said Bayonetta was bad, so I had to like understand like what his brain damage was and make him say that.
Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, everybody, thank you so much. Wasabi, Clay, tell people where they can find us, man.
Go to nerdjunkies.com to get more of Clay, which you want more Clay. Let's be honest, that's why you're here. But you can also go to gameoverse.com and get more of this. You can go to gameoverse.com/Twitch and /YouTube and /Discord / whatever. We probably got a link for it. /video games, because that's what we do here. We love them, and you do too, and that's why you listen. So we appreciate you. You a genius.
I mean, I don't play games. I'm just here for Rick.
Oh yeah. We're all here for Rick. So that's.
I got good ass opinions, man. What can I say?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug, Clay?
No. Just want to thank you guys for having me again. It's always a fun time. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
When does Nerd Junkies go live? I'll check you guys out.
We are on a break right now. Joel's doing some upgrades to videos and intros and outros and all that stuff. So he's just focusing on that right now.
Well, man, when you guys get back up, like, drop us a link in the Discord. I'll come listen.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, everybody, be safe, be cool, get vaccinated if you can, and stay safe and be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other.
Mm-hmm.